On, shall we? Let there be light. Opie, I'm like 2 minutes late. Man, my daughter left these spiders a mess. Hold up, we gotta just out here leaving my tables. Alright, let's get all the spiders nice and positioned here. Okay, goodness gracious. I am so sorry. Alright, we're missing a spider. Where's the other one? Hold up. There we go. All right, very normal things, I'm not trying to have a stream without all my spiders. It's my special interest. Good morning, everyone. I love that I just start off my stream and I'm like, hold on. Where are my spiders? Look how cute they are, though. Aren't you so glad I did that? Look, I did not spend an inordinate amount of adult money on a bunch of gigantic stuffed spiders to not have them immaculately displayed for my friends here, okay? Anyway, also, I poured myself this glass of Mio water, and right after I chose the flavor, I was like, I should have been drinking this for Blue Toilet Water episode on Tuesday. That would have been so funny. This would have been really funny for the Blue Toilet Water stream. But it's not the Blue Toilet Water stream, okay? It's the regret stream, I guess. No, but for real, welcome back to another Dadvocate stream. I'm Lauren, your friendly host, as always, and here we just kind of cover some random events of the world or stories that people have anonymously posted online and reacted to, generally in the realm of relationships, dating, parenting, but sometimes kinda random, to be honest. That's usually what we do here, and one of the fun things about my stream is that I try to make it something that is not visually heavy. Yes, I did just spend the first 2 minutes of this stream immaculately presenting my stuffed spiders visually, but for the most part, you don't have to watch. Girthy, yes and no. I've been very bad this week. There's been a lot of craziness going on. I am aware that I have emails. I checked and saw that they exist. There's about 17 unread, though, which not that bad. I've seen some of you guys. I've seen some of it, all right? 17 is not actually that bad. I'm usually more on top of my emails, though, but these past couple days have been redonkulous, and I'll catch you up a little bit. But anyway, like I was saying, everything that we're going to be talking about today, feel free to just listen. If we do end up watching some videos, I'll do my best to visually describe all that to you so that you can go about, listen to this at work, while you're choring, taking the dog for a walk. Catilia, would you like to join us? Cat tax? Come to me. She's hesitant because A, there's a blanket already on the ground. You don't need a human if you already have a floor blanket, as we all know. And B, she did scratch the ever-living shit out of my legs yesterday, and I wasn't happy about it, so she's probably like, I don't know if you hate me still, so. Literally covered in scratches. Today, our theme for the stream is Chat Are They Cooked? Meaning, we're gonna go over some videos, some different stories, and basically ask, how cooked are they based on these stories? Now, before we start with other people's stories, I'll read ZOMGBBQ FTW's super chat, but then I'll also give you one of my own. ZOMG says, I finished that stream yesterday and that was a train wreck of an interview. Like, what the was that? Also, the only time she wasn't yapping was when she talked about how much he trusts her. Right? You notice there was like never anything from her end, and I thought that was really interesting too. That was something I didn't get to cover. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the stream from Tuesday is still up. It was such a fun episode. We were doing a little bit of a we've been on this kick of like where are they now with people we've covered in the past. So we did a little bit of a recap of an incident that happened about half a year ago now called Blue Toilet Watergate, where a woman posted her words, the biggest fight she's ever had with her husband online over the fact that he was using blue toilet water cleaning discs. And in her opinion, that looks trashy. I am not making this up. That was the entire fight. But in the update, there was this interview, and I was saying that I usually hate the instant speculation of like, woman is experiencing or woman is demonstrating bad behavior, definitely cheating. Like, I think it's a little incelly to like make that immediate jump every single time. And the guy who interviewed the couple was a total creep. That's very true, Girthy. Very big facts there. But the longer she kept talking about how this weird argument only started when she came back from over a week-long work trip, combined with many other things throughout the interview, did by the end kind of push me in the maybe she is cheating category. But yeah, that really was one of the other ones too, is that her husband repeatedly says throughout the interview, like, oh, I don't worry about her when she goes on work trips. I don't worry about it. I trust her. But we did not get that same energy from her. I think she like calls him a man whore at one point. She gets upset when he says the line, I would rather have a piece of mind than a piece of tail. I don't know why she got upset about that. Maybe it's like just the micro objectification of referring to another woman as a piece of tail. I don't know what's offensive about that. I think it's like a good old boy saying, but like, wouldn't you rather he have that mentality? The whole thing was weird, but I recommend watching it. I'll admit, that's one live I'm probably not gonna cut up, just because it would take it down from like, what, 3 hours to maybe a generous 2.5. I don't think I'd be able to clip much, to be honest, but it's a fun listen. The balance is, the audio balance is not the best, but I've worked on it, so hopefully I'm sounding nice, loud, clear, not tinny. No promises on the not nasally thing. My septum still deviated. We have not fixed it yet. But hopefully in the next coming months. Now, for our first story for today's stream, chat, are they cooked? Gotta give you a personal life update because one of the craziest, weirdest, cringiest, unhinged fucking things just happened to me and TJ. Now, apparently it's like been happening and we only just now noticed yesterday, but buckle up because I need to know what you guys would have done in this situation, and if you guys find this just as weird as TJ and I did. So before we get into yesterday's events, I have to rewind back the clock a little bit. We gotta take us back all the way to 2014. That's right, 10 years ago, when TJ and I first started dating. TJ, obviously, it is quite the catch. He had a whole ass kid when I met him. He had a history. There were other women that he dated. That's normal, right? Now, there was one girl that he dated a little bit before he ever met me. And she was kind of like in our mutual friend group. And the first time that I ever met this girl, she was such a see you next Tuesday to me. It was just like, obviously, you still want my man. Obviously, you do not like that I am here type energy. And this girl was doing the most, y'all. I'm talking trying to get all up on TJ and like flirt with him while staring daggers at me. It was like almost hilarious how hard I was getting trolled. Like, and you have to imagine, it's like, God, come on, God. I already have a baby mama doing this. Now I have to deal with this with another. How many women are you going to just treat me like shit just to be able to date this guy? Now, we end up leaving this event, and I like brought it up to TJ. I'm like, your friend was, kind of being a crusty bitch. And he was like, I picked up on that. I'll have a word with her. So he does. He's like, hey, you were being kind of weird. And she actually admits it. She goes, yeah, I don't know, like, what came over me. Oh my God. It was a Scott Pilgrim situation, Girthy. You're so right. Oh my God. Truly. And she's like, yeah, I was really weird. I don't know why I did that. Like, cool, you might not, but I do. Anyway, let's move on. So the next time I see her, she does the exact same fucking thing. Just the whole time. I don't like that he moved on. Here's the weirdest thing too. Like, girl, you could have had him. Like, I didn't like come and steal him from you. Okay? You had an opportunity to date him. You blew it before I was even a twinkle in his eye. You were like, I can't commit because I actually want to sleep with all these other guys. And that's what you wanted to do, and so you didn't date my husband. You don't then get to throw a temper tantrum when he's not obsessed with you forever, when you didn't even want to date him. So what? So this was like just a fling. They didn't even like date officially or anything. And this is what happens when we move on. But so we're like, okay, you know what? Whatever. If she wants to have her little mentee bee, her little hissy fit because a man moved on, I guess, then that's fine. We just won't ever hang out with her again. We'll move on with our lives. And that's what we did for 10 years. That's what we did. How in the world could this possibly go awry again after 10 years? And that's where we get to the crazy part, y'all. Okay? Twodros, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Greetings from East Lansing. Very close, very close. I will be in you for a 5K soon. I think it's called the Turkey Trot. If you want to do the Turkey Trot in Lansing with me, I'll meet you there. These kinds of behaviors are the norm among the women in my mom's family. No shocker, the one who doesn't is married. Like being bitchy to other women. I don't know why she thought that would be cute. It's just so weird because I've dated a handful of guys myself. Every single one of those men has moved on. Never once have I gone out of my way to aggressively make any of those women feel uncomfortable. In fact, I have done some wing woman work, if I can safely say myself. I've had nothing but good things to say about my exes to women who were interested in dating him. Because that's a thing, too. I don't know if you know this. Women now, like, reach out to people's exes to be like, what can you tell me? So maybe try to end on a high note, huh? But yeah, so, I was like, whatever. I never talked to her. Didn't worry about it. Moved on with my life. So brings us to yesterday. 10 years later, y'all. This girl shows up in my People You May Know. Tell me why her profile is recently posted to this very day, filled with pictures of the two of them taken over 10 years ago. I'm sorry, what? And it's like the one picture that she was like putting as like her featured photos was a desperately clipped angle from like a stage production that made it look like a very sexual scene between the two of them. This was like a 5-second moment from the play, and like this was a cell phone quality capture that you could tell she found a way to film, had zoomed in on, and clearly was like clinging to for all this time, and was like newly, freshly in our year of 2024 like posting these. And I'm like, hey yo. What? And so again, I usually don't like to be the girl who gets involved, but like I thought it was so weird that I commented. I was like, girl, what are you doing? She instantly blocks me. So I messaged TJ and I'm like, dude, and he looks at it and he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is this? And so he messages her and he's like, can you take this down? I'm deeply uncomfortable. And she's ignoring him. And that's when, like, my best friend, bless her heart, she's an OG, she just came in and was like, what is this deranged pick-me behavior? And that's when she just deleted her entire social media. She, like, we're not blocked. None of us are blocked. She just straight up deleted everything after that. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's a good outcome. That better than I expect. I just was like, can you not? But like, if you want to just not exist, that's fine by me too. But oh my god. I was like, oh my god, TJ, you Chad widowed the ever living hell out of this woman, because hello? That's like, wasn't the baby reindeer? Oh my god. I have a couple theories. My first theory is obviously like Chad widow hell. Like, and I get it. We all call him the tripod on this channel. I've been with him for a decade. I know how romantic, affectionate, hands-on, like how much of an all-star partner my very marriageable husband is. TJ should teach classes, dude. That's what, like, honestly, I think most men would instantly trust the opinion of any man who's still got girls posting pictures of them 10 years later. Like, whatever mojo you've got, we need it bottled and sold. What is the secret magic juice here? Oh my god, he didn't dodge a bullet, he dodged a missile. I'm honestly still scared. Like, with that level of hyper obsession, there's like so many weird layers to it too, because this woman is allegedly an actress out in California, which I'm assuming just means coke-addled extra somewhere near like a downtown area. But she claims to have been in like all these films and productions over all the years. Like, you would think that you could just use any of the dozens of model shots or the professional Canon photos that were taken, but like, you took a cell phone, like iPhone 6 quality shot of the most sexual picture you could possibly try to desperately concoct of you and my husband, and you're posting it in this day and age as a main profile picture in 2024? Oh God. So my first theory is Chad widowed. Down bad. Theory two, this one's like a little bit of like a narcissistic theory, so don't pay this one much mind. Theory two is that maybe she found out like what I became, because I was nobody when she met me. Like, I can see why she had her prissy, like, I'm an actress, you're a nobody attitude to me, because I was literally like a scruffy raccoon from Detroit. I didn't even have a sense of fashion when I was showing up to like meet her. I was probably in an oversized Red Wings t-shirt, quite frankly. But maybe she like saw my success, and this was like a jab, kind of like I still have this or something. Let me read these couple super chats. Jack says, flashbacks of East Michigan stalker. Yeah, she's from East Michigan, so I think it must just like be in the water or something. I think that Flint water really got to her. To Wodros3 says, TJ won't be allowed to be a mentor to men without posting a video of him saying how trash men are. Otherwise, he'll be called a PUA. You don't have to pull TJ's arm to talk about how trash men can be. Okay? Like, I know that I'm the Dadvocate, and I'm always like fighting against like super anti-male behavior, but you have to understand that the only reason that I can be such a good ally and such a strong ally for men is because TJ is doing so much of the work for me and for women, and fighting against the issues that men do have. And I think it's right that way. You know, he's a man. It's his responsibility to help call out other men. I'm a woman. It's my responsibility to help call out other women. I think it's great, and I love it, right? Okay, so my third theory, which I think is also as likely, if not more, than the Chad widow theory, is that she might have gotten pissed off at a guy and was using this to like try to make this other guy jealous. Could have really nothing to do with us at all, and she was just trying to like sexually exploit my husband for her own gain. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, you know, we got another degenerate pick me off the internet, so let's stay up, city boys. So Curious says, as a woman, I can say I love men. Pick me. Instantly what they always say to us, though, isn't it? Whenever we're like, honestly, I think men are pretty valuable and have a lot to offer us. They're always like, why are you selling your soul to the patriarchy? Oh man, yeah, I had to start you off with that one because that was a wild ride, to say the least. Like, it was getting to the point where like my IP lawyer was like, I mean, I can come after her for misappropriation of commercial likeness. Like, it was getting to that point, so I'm glad that she just self-deleted, quite frankly. She internet and heroed, so to say. It's funny that if you're not a sexist as the man, they accuse you of being a sexist. You're a pick-me. Or if you're not as sexist as the men. God, okay, sorry, I read that too fast. If you're not as sexist as the men, they accuse you of being a pick-me. Yeah, basically. If I don't hate men, I'm a pick-me, basically. Flashback of Pothead 304, Pred local, but PT Cali. Oh, I don't know about that one. Every woman gangsta until a heavy box lands on their front porch. I don't know what that means. What's the heavy box? Self-deleted doesn't mean that. Yeah, okay, she didn't take herself out, just she took her social media pages out. Goodbye. Farewell. She really didn't have to do all that, but I'm glad that she seems to be feeling shame. A box that they can't lift. Wow. Okay, I just overthought that then. apparently. So yeah, so for today's episode of Chat, Are They Cooked? How cooked do we think she is? I would say very cooked. I think that we cooked very quickly yesterday. Ooh, Lord. She yielded to the Dadvocate. She bent the knee. But I mean, like, really, no one was asking for anything unreasonable. It's a pretty simple ask. Like, TJ's a married man, and, like, lady, you literally admitted to bullying me. It's just not the most normal, sane thing to be trying to make people think you're still with that man romantically on the internet 10 years after he's ever spoken a word to you. Ooh. Oh, she's hella cooked, caught in 4K. Oh yeah, I still have the receipts too. Don't worry. Just in case.
Thank you for saying such
Here's
kind
the
things
tripod. Saying such kind things. I know, right? It's the ultimate compliment, though. Like,
no, you were actually saying like actual nice things about me too, but my hands were like covered in nuts, so I couldn't like run upstairs and, you know.
I mean, it is true though. Like, let's be very real. That was a big thing that happened almost immediately after me and TJ became serious. And like, I would love to hear if any other single dads have anything to say. Wait, third theory, TJ and her were part of a Mission Impossible meets Ocean's 18 heist, and she's trying to get close to him because TJ took her cut. Trust me, TJ didn't take fucking nobody's cut.
Dude, I probably if it was one of those things, I probably gave my cut away. Took down a billionaire? All right, time to get rid of all this money.
Yeah, TJ does not care about money at all.
No, there's a great bit between Iron Man and Spider-Man in the comics where he's like, how are you broke? And Spider-Man's like, because I don't value money. And Tony Stark's like, you don't value money? And Peter Parker's like, no.
I know. He's a terrible businessman. I love my husband, but he'll
No.
he'll spend like 7 hours building something, and he's like, I think I'm gonna sell it for like $35. I'm like, I will literally murder you.
Listen to me. I'm a great businessman. That takes back burner to everything else, though. I know what I should charge for things. The artist in me is like, somebody really wants that, and not just.
This is why nice men need aggressive pit bull redhead wives.
Listen,
because
dude, once I started watching Slayers again, and I saw Lena and Gowry, I'm like, oh no, oh no.
I don't know what that means.
I know. You don't know what that means. Anyway, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, especially like. With the art that I do, it's one of those things where I feel like not rich people should be able to have this too. Like someone who's like, I can spend $5 on my kid at the market.
That's what Martha Stewart thought.
But it's like, you gotta, what?
That's what Martha Stewart said.
She still had some pretty outlandish fucking designs, okay?
We might have to talk about that, Martha Stewart.
Yeah, we might, but I
think I have a clip of it,
It's more about
actually.
the idea that a lot of the stuff I make is designed to be affordable for people. Like my comics, yeah, I'll charge the correct price for my comics, but I won't overcharge my comics because that's how people go out of business.
I know. He's a good man. But yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say though, is like, I'm so curious to hear from other like married single dads, like if this was your experience. But like, I obviously wasn't there for TJ's dating life from in the 5 years that he had his son to meeting me. But from the sounds of it, wasn't easy, was not like as potent as prior to a son.
Let me wash my hands off and come talk about, actually, hand sanitizers.
And it's, my husband's hot, so it's not like there was ever any like major droughts, but from what he's kind of explained to me is that, and like the way that I phrased it after he explained it to me, is that it seems as though there were women willing to sleep with him, but when it came to like commitment anything long term, making anything official, even telling people that they're dating. It was like he was always at arm's length.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like you were saying, it was that you were saying, what's the secret? It's respecting them like human beings equally, as it would turn out, is just treating them with the same respect, as it like goes a huge long way. Also read books. Just read some books. That'll help you too.
Yeah, and it's like, and you know, like TJ, even with, I can safely say, again, even though I wasn't there, I already know that even with women who weren't looking for long-term commitments, like TJ was never a womanizer. Like he always treated these women with like kindness and grace. And like,
that is something that I tried to pride myself on, where it was like,
and respect, mostly. I don't think that there's ever been a woman that you slept with and then you were like, anyway, time for you to leave. Never. It's like, do you want breakfast the next day?
Those kind of people in like stories, or if I would ever hear about them, I'm like, oh, so you're garbage. You're a bad person. That's not how you treat another person. I'm like, how? What are you talking about? That's what you do. That would feel so used and abused if you got done that. Why would you do that to another person?
But like the most annoying thing about that though, and like those amazing qualities that you gave to everybody, is that it felt like, and this is now a shared experience that we both share, is that so many women don't give a fuck about those things until you have another woman.
You know what? Yeah.
Because as soon, literally the second, because we dated casually without telling anybody for like a year.
Truly.
And it's not like I was swatting the women away with brooms, no offense, but like as soon as we made things official, all of a sudden it was like women were just coming out of the woodwork. Like,
dude.
though,
and we're both like, just like, there wasn't like, it's not like there was like what is it called? What are the I watched a roster. It's not like there was a roster and it was like Lauren and then all these other girls and then you won out of the pack. It was like we dated exclusively, like unofficially, for probably 9 months, like close to a full year, just to be like, because we both acknowledged the, and you and I have talked about this, we both acknowledged the kind of gravitas of like being an official partner to a parent.
Yeah, I wasn't in any hurry to like be kicking down the door and like being like, hi, I'm Lauren, call me mom. Like, hold on, let's see what Grit says. Based on the story you told about TJ, you would really like Sadia Khan. Yeah, okay, because you did email her. I did see it in the title. I just have not opened anything in a couple of days. I'm so sorry. Right, I remember when I was single for years, when I got a girlfriend, there was a chorus of girls who protested that. Yeah, that's so funny too, because it's like and I had that experience too after like dating TJ.
That's so weird because I have such a thing of self-worth, and this whole conversation has me like, oh, maybe I am like, yeah, all right, okay. Maybe I'm trying and it's actually working. I'm being a good person. It's
like, there is a male loneliness epidemic, and you've been married for 10 years, or 8 years, but with a woman for 10 years. I think you're doing okay.
I mean, you know that I'm my biggest self-critic.
Yeah.
Aren't we
all?
I just like to know that I'm doing a good job by you too.
Like, I does good.
I does good. That's it. I'm a Labrador. I like being scritched behind the ears. That's all.
Yeah, it's just, it's so weird how sometimes it really takes like losing, and it's not even like losing someone, because that's the weird thing, is like it's not like these people were dating you when I started dating you.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't lose it, they didn't have it, they didn't try to, it was a plant that they didn't try to water it.
Yeah, it was
and
one
then
of those
someone else waters it and they're like, why do you get to keep the flower? And it's like,
motherfucker! Yeah, I think it was
I watered it!
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like you said, it's just they came by, like, it's kind of a harsh metaphor, but it's like they came by and they picked the fruit when they wanted to pick the fruit. And then, like, it's like the tree's getting kind of withered and it's like nobody's really taking care of it. The tree's trying to have to take care of itself, but this tree would really like if someone could help it grow. And then suddenly it was like, yeah, it's like you've said it. I mean, the simplest thing is people don't know what they have until it's gone. But it's like I hate talking about myself like that. Like the fact that I just got like a weird feeling in my chest just knowing that I was the subject of that sentence. But the subject of the story, it doesn't have to be about me for my brain to continue with it. But it's like it's a weird phenomenon, and it's like you said.
Oh my god, yeah. Someone else said it really beautifully here. They think they can keep guys on retainer, like having a lawyer in case you get sued. I remember way back in the day. Now this was like, I was like 18 or 19, so nobody judge this woman very harshly, but I was out getting coffee with one of my girlfriends, and she was telling me that she was like torn between two guys. She's like, I don't know who to pick. And I remember her saying, I just wish I could put this one away in a freezer bag and then thaw him out later.
That's not how that works. Someone else is going to open up the freezer, dude.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and I can't blame you for feeling that way. I'm sure plenty of people have been like stuck between two people before, and like, even though you know it's wrong, you can't help that you feel that way. But it was just like, it was just funny because there's so many people who wish they could do that.
Is TJ autistic, my friend?
Hard maybe.
Hard
maybe.
Hard. Titanium, or orichalcum. Adamantine.
He's even out here risen him with autism.
As it would turn out, actually, that's probably what it was for a lot of my luck. Here's the trick. Just be kind to people. That's honestly the trick. Whenever you're like, I hate saying what would Jesus do because of my own personal views, but it's like, if you actually look at the stories, what would Jesus do? Just be kind. It's that fucking simple, dude. Just be kind. Even if you're like, well, I don't know if it aligns with, just be kind. Just be kind. You'll figure it out. Is it being kind to the other person? Just be kind.
TJ is much kinder than me. I'll admit that. TJ's the kinder between us. He always has that mentality of like, being kind is more important than being right. And I'm always kind of like,
most of the time.
I'd rather be right.
Most of the time.
I admire TJ in that way.
Hey, listen, I think Ernie even said, sometimes it's more important to be kind than to be right.
Autistic bros, let's be best friends.
I'm ADHD, baby.
Go follow OTL Rook.
Go follow me.
Go be BFFs.
He said my favorite thing. He said orichalcum. I got you.
Is that the ore that originates in orcish territory?
There is. So
it's
actually from ancient Greek myth, orichalcum. It's like the metal of the gods, but it's used in pretty much across all fantasy as like orichalcum. The same thing, you can say that, or like adamantine. That's all these sort of fantasy metals. You can put orichalcum with like adamantium, vibranium, any stuff. So it's like it's really cool. Atlantean metal. Yeah, some people would say it was the metal of Atlantis.
Can you say it one more time?
So some people say orichalcum, but it's orichalcum because of the way orichalcum.
Do you want to know how I was saying it in my brain the entire time I read it while I've been playing Skyrim? Orcatelthum.
Well, good night, everybody. It's been a solid 10 years. Nice knowing you, guys.
I've been making orcish armor out of orcatelthum in my brain this whole time.
That's actually one of my favorite stories. Yeah, orichalcum. I've also heard
orichalcum.
Orichalcum. It's that ch is a hard k with the Greek orichalcum, the way that it works. I've also heard.
Oh God, Tewodros. TJ, being kind gets you robbed, and guys fucking your wife. That's how I got conceived.
Wow.
No dice.
Okay.
Woo!
That is. Sorry,
Tewodros,
buddy.
The third needs a
That's really, yeah, I'm sorry, dude, but
that's rough, buddy.
From your anecdotal to my anecdotal, I gotta say, mine from that, I gotta cancel you out. I got the exact opposite experience. Being kind.
I've been solidly mono-dicked.
The thing is, like, being kind
is a very nice man.
Thank you. But it's like being kind and being an asshole. There's
a middle ground.
The thing is though, people are gonna hurt you.
I'm a kind asshole.
Thank you. People are going to hurt you and be dicks regardless, because that's other people. You're measured by your reaction to it. It's like, you can be kind or you can be an asshole. Yeah. And to be fair,
there's a difference between being kind and being a nice guy.
You're right.
Because being a nice guy, yeah, I talk about that all the time.
And like I've said, like, and agreed with her, like, you don't, like, if there's a time where you're going to be taken advantage of, that is not the time to be kind, because you have to stand up for yourself.
TJ doesn't let me walk all over him.
But it's like, the thing is, like, if
he'll be kind to me, but he won't let me, like, just talk any sort of way to him.
But I think that's how people know that you're kind, is it's like, hey, are we all... I hate to look at it, but it's like, are we all treating each other like dogs would treat each other? Like, if how would my dog treat me? That's how I want to treat you. Be kind. But if you're a fucking asshole to me, I'm going to think about biting that hand next time, dude. It's like learned behavior. But it's also like, we can all be really copacetic. Easily. So fucking easy. Just don't be an asshole to one another. Mind your own fucking business.
I think the problem...
Just help your neighbor out. Do you see somebody trying to lift something that's way too heavy? Like, dude, I remember when I was living in Flint, I was walking around the neighborhood, and this woman was trying to set up her fucking, like, Halloween decorations. I don't know if I'd ever gone down the street before or after this walk. And she was trying to set up her Halloween, or it might have been Christmas lights. I'm like, hey, would you like some help? And she looked fucking terrified for the first, like, 30 seconds. And I was like, yeah, you look like you're struggling. Would you like me to hold that while you nail it? And she was like, yes. And I just, like, I don't think I ever saw that woman again in my life. But it's like...
She never came outside again.
She may have never come outside again.
Gave her agoraphobia. She just entered her Paula Deen era so hard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Dangerous, dangerous man. Yeah, no, here's the thing of, like, where niceness will either fail you or be your foundation for life. Are you being kind or being nice for yourself because you know that that's just the right thing to do?
Then you're not being kind.
Or wait.
Then you're just being nice.
Let me rephrase this. I meant for yourself, as in, like, for your own moral.
That's what I'm.
But what I meant should have said is for them.
Okay.
Are you being kind and being nice selflessly, expecting nothing in return, or are you being kind and nice because you've sociopathically learned that that's what you're supposed to do to reach your end goal?
Yeah.
Because.
Right.
One of those things will have some. Now the thing is, being nice because that's what you honestly think that you should do can still get you into trouble. We just covered on one of my past live streams the guy whose ex-wife called him to help her get her car stuck out of the flood because he had the equipment, and he shows up to help her even though she took everything from him in the divorce, and even though her new man was just standing there.
Well, that's being stupid. That's not being kind. Someone said, are you being kind or are you being a schmuck? It's like, I don't know if we're talking about me personally. We just have been going over for the last, like, 15 minutes how it's not being a schmuck.
I think that was the universal.
Oh, being kind. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the fence you have to decide. And that's one of those moments, like you said, would it be kind to go help them? Yes. But also, you also have to be an adult and be like, what about so-and-so? Aren't they right there? Why are you calling me? Like, you can be like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah. Superman will help Lex Luthor, but he's not just gonna do it. He's gonna be like, have you exhausted all air? Like, dude, I'll help, but fuck, do I have to? Like,
you want to know something interesting?
Yes.
This actually was taught to me by the same girl who had the freezer bag comment. She married the freezer bag guy. But
I think, and this is the thing, and this is not to be me, this is not to reflect on me, this is the freezer bag guy comment. I think for people who do, like, the back burner or, like, the freeze dried or whatever, is...
The other guy was such a fuckboy.
Well, the thing is, I think what it is they, with these freezer bag people, is there's something in their, like, their insight check, and it's like, they rolled, like, just high enough for, like, the DM of their subconscious to be like, ooh, you notice there's something of quality there. You can't quite put your finger on it yet. And they're like, okay, I'm going to put that in my character journal. And then they forget about it. They get all the way through the character journal and they're like, okay, all right, let me look back and see if I can learn how to build my character after a few levels up. I've kind of fucked up here and there. And then they're like, oh, yeah. How is that NPC doing? Married with children. We had a wonderful excursions level 3 to 5. Like, what is this?
Literally, like, that chick from yesterday.
But it's like, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like they rolled high enough just to be like, there's something here, but I can't put my finger on it. But I'm kind of in my fuck around era. I'm not ready to find out. And then they get to they're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to settle down. And it's like, oh, that insight that you had was the settle down thing. And someone else sniffed onto that before you. It was you, Miles. You have the best nose ever.
I gotta start doing more content warning girls that they gotta stop sleeping on nice guys. Like,
not nice guys.
I mean the good guys
Right.
though. I get your angle. Kindness doesn't just mean pushover, and it's also about internal peace.
Yeah.
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. It's a question of whose opinion.
Now, it's funny that you say inner peace because, I know that this is a character who, by writing, has made tons of mistakes. It's part of why I like them so much. But, like, I'm a character of Wolverine. I enjoy them because they fuck up all the time. But at the end of the day, they always will choose to be kind, help people who need help, and stand up for people who need to be stood up to.
I don't know if kind's the right word for Logan.
No, he has absolute. I will go grab like 6 comic books right now. That man has
rough.
He has like 75 years of literal war trauma inside of him. He's working through it. The fact that he has any kindness left in him is a thing. But I always tell, like,
I think he's like scruffy good.
Yeah, he's chaotic good.
Like he's the
gonna
kind of guy who's gonna be like, get over here and let me change your tire.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's
like,
gonna be...
it's not like the kindness that you think of.
But it's but listen, it's the kindness that actually matters. I hate to say it that way. Like,
yeah, there's a difference between being nice and being real.
Yeah, if there's like, let me just change your fucking tire, and it's like, oh my god, thing, it's like, shut up, just don't do something so stupid next time. You're going to be like, I'm going to remember this person and tell this story forever. But if someone just comes and fixes your tire and just treats you like garbage or tries to take advantage of you for it, you're not going to get that. I guess Logan isn't the best, but he's someone who I feel is a little more human. I always tell my parents when they get a little huffy because I'm not, my Catholicism membership lapsed, that I'm raising my children to be somebody that Steve Rogers or Clark Kent would feel honored to invite to their dinner table. And both of them are like, fine. I'm like, good. Okay, great. So we agree. We're actually shooting for the same thing.
Hold on, let me read these super chats. Freedom Fiend, so good to see you. The lesson of Jesus is be kind, be bold, stick to your morals. He called out dangerous people to their face and whipped people for profaning the temple.
That's my favorite Jesus story.
Me and TJ like Jesus. We're
it's his fan club that I've got a problem with.
We're a little skeptical of the fan club.
I'm more than a little skeptical.
But Jesus,
he's my favorite Hebrew. But like
Hebrew? I ain't never heard that one. That one's good. I got Miles so on hands now. ZOMG FTW comes in with another one. Unrelated.
Zomagod barbecue for the win.
Is that how we should be saying it?
I think so. It's Zomagod barbecue.
That feels like it's less syllables. Unrelated, lately I've seen a lot of women commenting to men on posts like, I'm not his mother, shortly followed by, he needs to treat me like my father did or better.
Now, but here's the thing. This is the difference. No. You're interpreting that the same way. When people say, I'm not going to be his mother, I'm not going to clean after him, I'm not going to take his clothes out, he is a full-grown man. When people say he needs to treat me like my father, your father should be treating the daughters with respect, that they're a human, that their opinion matters, that they have their own control over themselves. That's what they mean. They should treat me with the respect and adoration that my father treated me with, not my father took care of me. It's my father treated me with respect and adoration, and I expect no less of a respect as a human being from my partner. Not, well, why isn't he my daddy? They might want that too, but it's like in more than one way. But it's like you need like putting those two together is like those are not the same thing. Saying I won't treat you like an infantile child, and I want someone who treats me like a human and loves me for who I am.
Okay, so the exact sentences that they used, I can see why you're having that reaction, but there are 100% women out there who are like, I'm not going to be a mommy, but then will also say things like,
he better pay
my father... Can I finish?
Sorry.
I waited. I waited,
You
sir.
did. You let me go.
But, like... there are women absolutely who are like, I'm not going to be anybody's mommy. I'm not going to say thank you for you doing things that you should be doing. But then they're like, my dad worked 3 jobs and came home. Oh, dude,
100%. It's like, then it sounds like your dad was abusive or abused.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like your dad sounds like also the victim of patriarchy, honestly.
No, truly.
So, yeah, no, it's definitely a thing, but like, yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's not the case there. Twodro, Steve Rogers, that overgrown Boy Scout.
Oh man, I know you're kidding because I know you're kidding.
Steve Rogers, Captain
Steve
America.
Rogers is the OG Captain America. There's Sam Wilson, who's the second one.
Raising
Who's
kids to be
also
friends
great.
with Doom or
Norman Osborn is
real
the Green
man.
Goblin, the literal, like, most evil character in Marvel. And Doom, while intelligent, he's kind of like the
Just has
definition
entered
of
his
lawful
villain arc.
evil. That's fucking crazy. That's a funny statement for comic book people, but, I mean, even Dr. Doom respects Steve Rogers. Like, pretty much, almost, most villains even are like, oh, fuck, Captain America's here? God damn it. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that.
Someone says, my question for TJ is, if you are autistic, how did or do you find it impacting your relationship with Lauren? I find it crazy hard with my wife.
So I actually got really late diagnosed with everything, so that helps. And part of it was me acknowledging that
I
like,
knew before he did.
she was like, I think you have this, and I was like, and then I finally was like, I watched some TikToks, and I'm like, oh shit, I probably have this. So I went and got tested, and I did.
He was kind of annoyed with me at first.
I was.
Like, I wasn't being an asshole about it, but I was like, I keep learning about this thing, and it sounds like you.
And it was one of those things where I kind of sat back, I looked at what a lot of the symptoms were, and I recognized, oh, these are a lot of things that I've struggled with my entire life. And that I'm struggling with my wife right now. So I came to her and like, hey, if I do have this, then here's some realities you're gonna have to deal with from me. I'm like, you say I always forget and that it's annoying. I need to let you know, if this is real, if what you're telling me you think I have, you need to accept that I'm just gonna fucking forget forever. Yeah. I can try to mitigate it, I can take medication, but the memory will always be a problem. I'm like, I can remember shit from 12 years ago down to like the thread count on your shirt, but I might not remember something we said last week. And that's just gonna be something that if you want to be in the long haul with me, that's just part of the deal. And I promise you, I will work on it. I will take steps to make it easier.
I think that's exactly when I knew that it had to be something, because there's a lot of women who like jump right to the weaponized incompetence thing, and they're like, he's doing this badly on purpose so that I won't ask him to do it, which is real.
Oh dude, it's so real. It's so real.
A ton of people do it, but that's not what he was doing. It's not like I would be like, can you do the dishes? And then he would do it badly. It would be the most ADHD fucking shit you've ever seen in your life. Like, I would go to grab a box of Pop-Tarts and a single slice of cheese would fly out and hit me in the face.
It was still wrapped.
And I'm like, why is there a piece of Kraft singles randomly placed here hitting me in the face? And it's like, that is not weaponized incompetence. That is pure squirrel brain in the highest order. Okay. Oh my God, barbecue for the win.
Got it.
Says, TJ comes and saves my name, but your breakdown of the situation gives too much credit to
I do give people too much credit, often and regularly.
Also, being a hot guy is living on easy mode. Now imagine being a hot girl. You can get away with anything. Yeah, actually, who do you think has more power? Probably a hot guy. A hot guy probably has the most power in the whole world.
I'm not allowed to get
political
on this stream, am I?
It definitely... Oh, we gotta reel it back.
It goes
hot guy,
rich guy, hot girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, rich white guy,
yeah.
Hot guy, hot
rich
girl.
guy, hot girl.
Probably
any guy. Any girl. All right, who do you think has it worse between ugly guys and ugly girls, though?
Ugly guys, dude.
Yeah, ugly. You're right. Ugly girl.
And I don't mean to say that that's like a difference between, oh, look, this says 0.5 and this says 0.48. It's like, yeah, it's both equally shitty.
You know what's crazy, too? Being rich, if you're an ugly girl, doesn't move the needle. It doesn't. If you're an ugly girl and you have money, it's not actually going to help you pull any more guys unless you buy them. Isn't that crazy? You can be an ugly guy, and if you get money, you like shoot so much higher up the chart of like net worth. But if you're an ugly girl, it doesn't matter. So that is where like ugly girl does fall below ugly guy. I think a lot of women with undiagnosed mental illness, it's time for a cultural change. The days of wives browbeating husbands is ending. Both need to learn to work together.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then Jack says, TJ singing my life all day long, not ADHD. Very, very, well, there's a lot of similarities in spicy brain land.
Yeah. A lot of it's comorbidity.
Vincent, you think girl with money absolutely does better? Do you really think that an ugly girl with money is doing better than an ugly guy with money? I don't think so.
Dude, no, an ugly guy with money, like, look at our president-elect.
We can make fun of the presidents. You know what? No, I don't do body shaming. I was gonna say if you want to call him ugly, that's not really. I don't think that's actually getting political. But then I'm like, but it's also not really in line with my beliefs because I would rather we do criticize opinions, behaviors, and actions. It's always what I say on my channel. But if we go there, this will turn into a dumpster fire real quick. Ugly girl without money becomes ugly girl with money just by showing Beale. I don't think it's that easy. I really don't, because like I know that everybody says like, oh well, girls have the cheat code of they can simply just make money by doing OnlyFans. First of all, if that was true, then why is it that actually the average monthly income from OnlyFans creators is $30? Obviously, it ain't as lucrative as they are trying to sell you, which is crazy because I would say this might just be like my partial gay showing, but I would say that most women are hot. Honestly, like that's just my opinion. I know that might be like a hot take, but like I think that most women are like pretty attractive. And so I think it says something that if the average woman is not succeeding at something that everyone says she's supposed to make, like all this money. Yes, I said $30.
She said $30.
$30. All these people who are saying like you can make millions. Like yeah, you can make millions through a pyramid scheme.
Now that's also on average. So what that means is like that's what that means is like they're taking all of the months, they're taking all the months of the year, and they're looking at like $200 to $300 a month on average, and that's probably what they're making. But then there might be some months where they make such shitty money that rips the average down. So they could have like half a year of really good, and then they could have like a quarter of a year that's so bad it pulls the good numbers down to like what looks really shitty. It's the same thing when people are like, the average income is blankety blank, and we're like, okay, take out everybody who...
Now remove the top 20%.
Yeah, now we're the top 20% of people, and they're like, okay, so the average income is actually only like 35, and it's like, okay, so we're actually all in poverty. And it's like, it's one of those things where I think the average is pulling really high numbers, and then like the absolute ones, and it's finding us somewhere in the middle. Because $200 to $300 a month, now to sell your dignity for $200 to $300 a month, that's up to you. Some people don't care, some people do. But it's like, that's a side job, that's a side gig. And it's like, but if that's the average, it's not as bad. But yeah, I could definitely see how average-wise it could come out to being less than we think just because they might have some bad months.
It also wouldn't surprise me if like the original $30 number was pulled when there was like a bunch of accounts that were created but never really used. So they might just like not even be pulling anything. But since they're active status, it just kind of like... bell curves us in a weird way. Mm-hmm. So it probably 200 and 300 also wouldn't surprise me if they actually take like active, consistently producing accounts. But like if that's the best, it's like still like to be honest, like even if you were making let's say $5,000 to $6,000 or more a month, the problem with that is that like OnlyFans has such a unique risk factor to it. Like I agree, it's certainly work, but it does come with those unique risk factors, and it's also got a shelf life for how long you can do it, and there's not like a retirement plan built in. No. Dead serious, the villains of Marvel make more sense to me. I'm an X-Men fan. Magneto was right.
That's absolutely wild. Also, Magneto's not considered a villain anymore, first of all.
I feel like there have been a couple of arcs where Magneto was kind of cooking.
The point is, the Holocaust angle and his whole point of like making himself more a mutants' rights activist, he didn't start that way. He started as like a literal just like evil mutant against Professor X's like good mutants. And then they rewrote him throughout the years to give him this more like approachable and like palatable and like sympathetic backstory. And he's been written into first an anti-villain and now an anti-hero in the stories. Magneto's hasn't been a villain for almost 20 years, I would argue, in the comics. But it's also, you understand that like if you raise your child on Norman Osborn and someone like, that's just a weird, I know, like, I know you say I'm being dead serious, but that's, if you were actually if I met someone who said, no, dude, I'm going to raise my kid like Norman Osborn, I would never.
My audience is so sneaky. They're like, okay, Lauren told TJ he can't talk politics, so let's get as deep into the comics.
I'm just saying, dude.
We can.
I'm just saying.
We'll get him somehow.
If I met a kid who was raised to be like Norman Osborn, that
isn't Norman Osborn like
he's the Green Goblin? He's literally psychotic.
Nepo baby?
No, that's his kid Harry.
That's right.
Who
Harry's
dies of a drug overdose.
Baby.
So you want to raise a kid who's going to abusively raise his children and feed his grandkid fucking drugs? Like, are you kidding me? Norman Osborn is the most monstrous person ever. But yeah, Magneto's not a villain, and they actually wrote out the mutant superiority stuff. He just wants to be acknowledged as a mutant. Again, they've rewritten the character numerous times. He's just an anti-hero now. He's like, please leave us the fuck alone. I acknowledge there are some humans out there who can do good, but I'm giving all of you the side eye because my life from Germany, World War II to now is a nightmare. And people have just shown me. I knew 4 kids like that. Then I'm sorry, dude. That's actually really sad. I'm sorry you knew 4 kids like that. That's not a good argument for why it should happen. Those sound like 4 kids that I hope you got out of your life. If those, like, dude, no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
I'm something of a scientist. Don't get me wrong. Norman Osborn, when he shows up in the comics, dude, I eat it up. I'm like, ooh, yes. It's like when Sabretooth shows up in Wolverine.
I love a good villain,
I'm like,
too.
ooh, so good. But I love to watch him fail. That's like every time he shows up, it's like I love to watch you almost achieve the worst thing ever and then just fail when goodness prevails. That's the best part. So I love him as part of the story. As a character, I love to hate him. Love to hate him. Doom, I'm more ambivalent on. Fucking love Doom. Still think he's a dictator, but he's done questionably moral things aside from becoming God Emperor Doom and rewriting the multiverse, but we'll ignore that.
So Girthy had a question. Girthy said, is it a red flag if you've only dated one person before your current partner?
Sorry, I was getting a little warm.
I thought you were farting.
No.
So I'm gonna be I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, Girthy.
Hold on, scooch over for a second.
I will say I can't scooch. I literally cannot scooch over.
What did they ask?
Is it a red flag if you've only had one partner before your current partner? Not when you're young, but the older you get, unfortunately, not a red flag, but I think that people are kind of they probably want to know why. Right? Like, are you undateable? Is there a quality that is like pushing people away? Are you a recluse where you don't go out? Like, I think it is important for people to see some kind of experience in the world, you know, especially when, in their opinion, you've had time, you know? Mm-hmm. But it depends. There are also, though, a lot of people out there, you might be surprised, who are not just flooded with sexual and dating experience, who also have only ever had one partner for one reason or another, be it either just wasn't in the stars for them or they're very picky. You know, there's so many reasons to it. I just don't have the money to go out. There's like, so many people in that boat.
But that's truly one of those things. And so, like, I would argue that, because, again, okay, Tewodros is just a fucking troll. I'm just going to ignore them now. He's just a fucking troll, dude. You realize that he R-worded her, right? Is that...
Oh, God, I did not know that.
Is that how you define getting farther with somebody? That's really gross. But also... that wasn't her, it was a clone, because it's Spider-Man. I hate to bring that up, but
is anybody
didn't
else as
happen.
confused on my own stream as I am?
But it's like, yeah, someone just said go to the library. My thing is, so many people, I think, see, it's I don't have any money to go to the bar. It's like, then don't go to the bar. If you live in,
get a dog and walk it.
Get a dog and walk it.
We said that on one of my other streams. We were like, oh, that's it. That's the end of the dating advice.
And that doesn't mean
there doesn't need to be anything else on the list. List of best dating advice. Step 1, get a dog and walk it. Done.
And it's like, what's crazy to me is that it's like some people might be like, also, like, then also go approach women. No. Like, you walk the dog, they're gonna eventually notice you. Oh, you're the guy. They're gonna be like, oh, you're the guy who has the big brown.
I heard you guys talking about walking dogs.
Exactly. It's like, and I know some people might be like, I live in a city where a lot of things cost money, and I understand, but also a lot of cities also will have something on their website or an associated website that will have like free events going on around town, and it'll tell you if they're free to attend, if they're not free to attend. The internet is a thing now, and the library. I know people keep saying library. I know some people say I don't like books. Learn to fucking like books. I think that's part of the problem also, is people like, well, I can't find anybody. I can't do this. I can't do that. Then you have to broaden your horizons. If you're like nobody in this room wants to date me, go out of the fucking room. It's like nobody so-and-so wants it. We got to keep trying to find places. If you're a cat person, then find somewhere to hang out where you think people... If you're allergic, then again, there's other things. But the idea is costing a dog.
Also, I second going to libraries because I have recently learned that the average American has a middle school reading level, and that most Americans' reading level is below a middle school reading level.
Yeah.
So
take them to story time.
Literally being able to read like a decent adult chapter book is more than most of your dating market can accomplish, and will just automatically put you in a higher echelon. Think about that. That's crazy.
I don't want to show how many books I have. And it turns out I've read most of them.
Yeah, that's...
Like, and you can get... I just don't understand, dude. It's like, you don't even have to, like, be reading fucking Tolstoy.
Yeah,
like, go pick up Terry Pratchett and read The Color of Magic. That's like a 150-page book.
We gotta let Miles
I'll let him out. He sees the wind blowing too hard.
Oh, man, I had so much other stuff that I was going to show you. We've gotten into so much. No, no, it's fine. We're having a blast. The whole stream was, is he cooked? So that's, or are they cooked? Simi about to go Super Marvel Comics fangirl / bookworm. Girthy says it's not a problem for me when I was in high school. Dang it. Sorry, Girthy. It went away too quick. I gotta find a way to get the Twitch cheers to show up here. Let's see. Yeah, I have a couple updates on things, a couple reactions. Let me see. What was like the one story I was even gonna cover? I put some other texts in the thumbnail, but honestly, I don't even remember what it was. Is this the one? Hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, let me pull up some stuff to show TJ.
What are you showing me?
We're gonna react to some things. We're gonna...
Oh, okay. Can I take a single second? Or are you about to... We can do it.
Do you need a single... Yeah, you can take a single second.
Well, oh, jeez. No,
what do you want to do?
You're gonna be Saoirse. I was gonna run outside real quick, but you can do the thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, by single second, if you mean 10 to 15 minutes, of course, that's a very different thing, you silly goose. But, okay. This is a series of text messages posted to Am I Overreacting? This reads... Oh, he got rid of the post. But it's okay. We have the text messages.
Okay.
He wants to know if he's overreacting to these messages. So wait, I got to give you some backstory. So where these text messages come from is he had posted this. Let me read Freedom Fiends real quick. Freedom Fiend, thank you so much, by the way. I don't like that. Just because a villain has good reasons for their actions and is sympathetic doesn't mean they aren't still villains. How many times have peaceful kingdoms been invaded because the invaders were starving? I know. That's
so
something
then by every argument, nobody's a hero. Like the standards, the goalpost is going to shift all the time. Like people are so let me ask you then, is if a character like Venom, can he ever be a hero? Because he started as a hardcore villain and they've rewritten him through the years to be more of an anti-hero. But do we just say, fuck that, he's just a villain? Deadpool was a cold-blooded murderer when Rob Liefeld first brought him onto the scene, and now he's everybody's favorite fast-talking pansexual mercenary with a mouth. And so
I think he's talking about villains who stay villains. Not villains
no, for sure. I agree.
Because I think we were talking about Magneto, because Magneto has like one of the best villain origin stories. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
but
doubly persecuted.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
he's an anti-hero is what I'm saying. Is Magneto is.
But he eventually became an anti-hero. But
Yeah, but he
if
started
he
as
just stayed a
literally just a
villain,
bad guy.
then him being persecuted as both a Jew and a mutant would not matter. He would still be a villain. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, now that he has done some soul searching, has had an ego death, then it's a little bit different. But okay, so this chat is This Guy Cooked story. The text messages that we're about to look over were following a phone conversation where over the phone, she for some reason asked her boyfriend if he thinks about having sex with other girls.
Okay.
Okay. He asks, is having an open marriage something you'd consider for yourself? It's not an option for me. I think being free human beings in marriage still requires healthy boundaries. She said, no, I just don't understand why you don't have a desire to sleep with other women. Sometimes I worry if you can match my freak. I want to pause there for a second. No one ever went to the library to find a life partner, but then I left the dating scene. Yeah, I think most people go to the library just to want to fucking read, but...
Yeah, but you might better yourself just by doing that, though.
Yeah.
It might give you the confidence you need to be like, okay, maybe I'll walk around more downtown.
But, okay. Yeah, I will say, so far, I don't think he's overreacting for his sus alarms to go off. Let me tell you, if you, like, randomly were like, hey, would you ever want to, like, open the relationship and sleep with other guys? I'd be like, the same thing, like, no. And then if you kept pushing it and you were like, wow, really? I'm so surprised. I would be like, why? I'm not. Drop it.
Right.
And then if you kept pushing it and you're like, well, I just worry if you can match my freak, I'd be like, now what the do you mean by that, sir? Right. I would be like, boy, bye. What are you even trying to do right now? Like, truly. All the alarm bells. I was already reading at a college level. Also, our bookstore is a good idea. I could get coffee. Here's... Taking a brief break from this, though I want to stay on one subject, so I'm going to abruptly end this conversation after this. I'm so sorry. We can't keep going between this and mutants and another thing. My audience is going to get confused.
I thought we walked away from mutants.
I know. I'm just letting everybody else know we're walking away from it. But as far as where
Isn't
to
that
meet
just
people...
like a normie human? I cannot believe it.
I know. I'm so not an expert. Oh my god. Y'all, I just broke my whole chair. What? What has happened? My chair is broken now. Oh my god. Hello? How do I fix this? Oh. Okay. So yeah, I think libraries are a good place to meet people, and furniture stores are a good place to meet people. Rest in peace.
What happened?
I just broke my whole chair.
Oh. Hold on.
Never mind. I just don't know how to fix chairs.
No,
Lauren, too strong.
Go on.
Here's my rule. If you see someone that you would like to approach, wherever you are, approach them. Fucking Martha Stewart got some action during her honeymoon in a church.
Not from her husband.
So you can really meet someone anywhere. But don't worry, guys. wasn't an affair because she doesn't think he knows about it. Okay, we'll get back to Martha Stewart after this. We'll get back to Martha Stewart. Okay. She asks if he's ever thought about sleeping with other girls, says she worries if he can match her freak. I don't even know what this means. I need to be honest, which I would read as like, wait, what are you saying, that you have needs? What is that? But like when you try too hard, you end up having the opposite effect. I think if we have sex all the time from here on out, we'll be fine. LOL. This is just so weird. Like the way that I would be interpreting this is my partner saying, hey, can we bang other people? No? Oh, well, then I mean, I guess as long as you continue to put out consistently for me, we should be okay. Red alert? Warning sign? Okay. He says, the combination of your spirit, intellect, and body is the anima, divine feminine, I've been wishing to attract.
Oh. Well, I don't...
Kind of gay, but okay. a little too hippy-dippy for me, but you know what? Oh my god, this reminds me of this meme that I saw. TJ's fixing the chair, by the way. Absolute Giga Chad alpha. 3 more ex-girlfriends are going to change their profile pictures today. But no, I saw this meme that was like, I want to tell this girl how compatible our signs are, but I don't want her to think I'm ran through.
That's so funny.
So funny. She responds, that's chill. I'm glad I could be that for you. I'm dying inside on this man's behalf. He literally was like, your spirit, intellect, mind, body, and entire divine feminine fill me in a level that I could never be satiated by anyone else. And she's like, that's chill. Glad I could do that for you. Our brother in Christ is literally having the soul sucked out of him with every passing text. He's still trying to, like, he's honestly being such a chat about this, though. Like, you might have to lean over a little bit. I'm so sorry. But he's truly like, I'm going to keep it spicy. He says, huh? And yeah, I can match your freak. Then he says, you're annoying. Good night. She says, LOL. I love when you're mean to me. What trauma mechanism is that? How? Wait, where was he mean? Oh, by saying you're annoying? No, because valid. That's not mean. That's... Because what's happening here is when you dismiss him correctly calling out weird behavior as just being mean, that's gaslighting. Mm-hmm. That's gaslighting, because she's trying to pretend that she's not being weird and, like, trying to soft launch a threesome of some kind, or like soft launch just cheating. So then she does what women who know that they're fucking cooked start doing and start like, it's the over explaining, the like now like tee hee hee, like all 3 of these emotions are the emoji equivalent to the giggle that we talked about, which is when a girl says something really fucking outrageous, like, oh my god, you are just like not even as good as my other boyfriends. I'm joking. Right. I'm joking. Yeah. Don't they always do that? And then it was a joke with the 3 ellipses. Learn how to take a joke, bro. Come on. Oh my god. Please stop leaving me on red. At the very least, thumbs up my message. A thumbs up is the same as a red at that point, isn't it? You see that he's read it. He's not going to validate you when you're not being validatable. Barely being dateable, quite frankly. And don't try using, oh, I fell asleep after opening it as an excuse, because it's so easy just to quickly like a message. Whoa, babe. I was just done with the conversation for the night. I had to stop replying so I could go to sleep. Move authentically. Is this River? Is this River texting right now, dude? We have a friend named River who's always posting shit like, guys, as I see the rays of the sun rising through the trees this morning. I'm called by my chakras and aligned energies to tell you that you really gotta just vibe, you know? I just hope those vibrations find you. Like, every time I read it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, buddy. I love this guy, but like the hippy dippy stuff always cracks me up. Move authentically, bro. Smoked so much weed before going to bed. River sounds like a crazy girl. What's her number?
Oh, you're gonna be so surprised.
I will say River's got better hair than a lot of girls. I
Yeah,
know,
that's
though.
true.
It's actually devastating that you would ask about having a desire to be with other people. Good for bro. He's being very, like, straightforward. And then she just, instead of acknowledging anything that he actually said, just said, thumbs up ain't hard.
Oh, that he thumbs down it. What a fucking dad! Yes!
What a king! Thumbs down. So there's more. Oh my god.
Fucking perfect, dude. Good for him. That's great.
He thumbs down.
But that was the only appropriate response to that. Oh my god.
Oh man. The vibrations, his third eye really aligned for that one. He says, I was going to sleep, I literally said goodnight, and you called me and asked a huge red flag topic about wanting to fuck other people. She says, I'll call you shortly. There's a lot you're missing. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
Bitch, I was here. It's like you're saying that to me when we've been in the room the whole time.
No, but it's like, I can make you think it's something different, though. Have you checked your mail? Have my pants come in? Hey babe, I'm kind of concerned about you bringing up something that makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah, well, I want you to react to me the way that I want to, and I want my packages. Girl. He says, I'm working, we're launching in less than an hour, no pants. What am I missing? No pants?
No pants yet. No pants have shown up.
Can I call you? No, we're going to go meet beep at the beep. Okay, talk to you later. Waiting on beep to start. Can you text me what you're thinking to tell me? Too much to text. Oh my god, she's killing him softly. Babe, we need to talk.
Strumming his pain.
Leaves on red for 7 hours. Dude, she loves building the anxiety. She is the drama. It's not what it looks like. I just want to taste other... Beep. She just wants to eat some onion rings off someone else's corn dog. That's all. Wow. In blank now. We'll just talk later. Okay. Well. Yeah, we need to have a conversation about where your mind is at with bringing up sleeping with other people. This is now the 5th time that he's been like, so anyway, about that really weird thing you randomly brought up. And she's just like, but me. No, me. I don't, but me.
Right.
Pants, though? Pants. The post office just called and said they received your So, okay, so let's get this straight. A thumbs up ain't hard, but it's hard to do about the conversation that actually matters. We're only gonna acknowledge pants. I fucking hate her. The pants gate is going so hard right now. My mind was not anywhere inappropriate with that question, and I should be able to ask you anything without being crucified. It was an extension of the conversation from a blank time with my roommates that you weren't present for. Okay. So her excuse is now starting to become like, no, it's perfectly normal to ask my significant other why they aren't thinking about sleeping with other people. Because let's be very clear, that's the question. Because if the question was just, do you ever think about sleeping with other people? Then the no would have ended it. Yeah. But that wasn't the question. The question was, well, why don't you? That's weird. I don't know if you can match my freak. That's the one I'm still hung up on, by the way. I'm sorry, but if there was ever a time that you asked me if I wanted to try something sexually that I was not comfortable with, and then you made the comment, man, I wonder if you can match my freak. That was just an admission that you want to do that, and you are disappointed that I don't, but you're still willing to both guilt and manipulate me into trying.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is that not exactly what just happened? So what's this conversation with the roommates that's gonna completely end this whole worry here? That's what prompted the question from me to you. It's not a red flag. Wait. No, it's not a red flag. I'm simply bringing something up based on a conversation that you weren't there for. Doesn't explain what the conversation even was. Like, I'm left with more questions. You're reading ahead. No one else can see that, babe.
I'm sorry.
Sabrine says, sometimes I think women could be dating Jesus Christ and still be unhappy. No, that you are correct, though.
I mean, dude, he was a 30-year-old guy who never moved out of his mom's house. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I don't care if you're the son of God. Show some ambition.
All you did was die for our sins. That was the bare minimum. That's what you were supposed to do. Okay. He says, I said a lot of cringy things. She says, I also was very clear that I was curious to know if you had a desire to sleep with other women and nothing about my desire to sleep with other men. I think you should know me enough by now and how I treat my womb space. The way both of these two talk to each other is egregious. It just sounds like someone created a chat GPT that is purely in hippy dippy language. Mm-hmm. Wait, wasn't there like a generator that was like, hold on, hippie phrase generator? I am positive because I was using this for a while. It was like English to hippie translator. Oh my god, this is so funny. Hold on. We need to talk about our problems. I'm concerned with something you said. Aw, that one was boring. Generate random sentence. What? This is not doing much. Dang it, this was very anticlimactic. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the other one was. It was called something like, this is it! This is the good one. The New Age bullshit generator. Just one click and the truth will manifest. Reionize electrons. And then it just creates AI generated New Age shit. This is the one. Yeah, that's the one I originally wanted to say. That's so funny. Yeah, they use the New Age bullshit translator to talk to each other. Anyway. My womb space. It's becoming more and more frequent too. Is everything all right? Yeah, my actions are all right. I'm just so weird. We are both weirdos. Working now. I don't remember why I'm here anymore.
Okay, bye.
Wow, we just like went from... Isn't this always the way it goes? Like, man is like, hey, something you said makes me uncomfortable. Existential crisis so it can be about me. Like... Look, me and my womb space are the real victims here, okay? I don't really want to hear it. You're the cringy one. I just need a break from everything right now. Don't be offended if I put my phone away for the rest of the day. Don't be offended if I don't respond to you, but if you don't respond to me after already telling me that you were going to bed, I'm allowed to just like double, triple, quadruple, octuple text you. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then, oh my god, I need a break from us, but not the kind of break you're thinking.
Let's see
it's all going according to plan
Let's
for
see what
her.
Let's see what she has to say.
I'm not going to cheat on you. I just feel like it's not pleasant when we talk anymore, and this A school is treating us like we're children, so my partner is my only sanctuary right now. I'm over it. Understood. Makes me sick to my stomach, but yep, I understand. That reminds me of the time over 10 years ago when I tried to break up with you. Mm-hmm. I literally, it was like we were still long distance and it was starting to get hard on me. And I went to go see him and I was like, hey, I don't really know if this is going to work out. I think we should break up. And he was like, oh, that sucks, but okay. And then I was like, never mind, I don't want to leave here broken up. And he's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So that's about as long as that lasted. But, you know, he's handling it well. He's not fighting her, but that's also going to be a problem. As you know, a man does not simply just accept a woman breaking up with him. He's supposed to fight. He's supposed to fight for her after getting broken up with. She says,
"You don't want to be here. I don't want you to be here."
But also, like, we got to take a minute. We got to take a break. We got to take a break and talk about this break. Because, come on, we really just went in a 24-hour period from, do you ever think about sleeping with other people, to, I need a break. What you did has driven me to this point.
Mm-hmm.
In 24 hours. So he didn't accept the idea of an open relationship willfully. So now we gotta pick a fight and make it his fault to start the break. Oh, but I'm not gonna cheat on you. But if I do, it is gonna be your fault.
Right.
I just don't feel like talking to you for the rest of the day. Nothing to feel bad about in your stomach. Yeah, don't, there's no reason to feel weird when your girlfriend thinks about sleeping with other people and then wants to take a break. Come on, man. Man up. You called me a red flag. No, she didn't. He said it was red flag behavior. He said it was a red flag question. You called me a red flag on top of me getting humiliated in the gallery for having my phone out at thing, plus my own coworker from thing laying into me for thing that should have passed. It just piled all up at once. The way I cope is retraction. I like to isolate until I feel better. Unless someone can prove their presence is better than my solitude, I just need a break sometimes. Oh, brother! That doesn't mean you need to freak out. Again, I was actually texting you when she called me out there's a lot going on. There's a lot of redacted. So had we been on good terms, I might not have gotten in trouble. So she's having some kind of workplace crisis on top of all of this. And she's now saying, if I didn't have to worry about you being all dramatic about a simple question that I shouldn't be crucified for, nothing else bad would even be happening in my life.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I need to just not talk to you at all, and you need to just accept it without having any emotions about it.
Yeah, I think he actually calls her out on it. Right before you clicked away, I saw his yellow or green thing at the bottom, yeah.
And do you notice that it's green now?
Yeah, that means that...
Do you notice how we went from blue to green? Only one reason that happens, okay? Someone either like got blocked or changed a setting. He says deflecting responsibility onto me for your mistake. So as soon as he asks her to take even a single bit of accountability, it's, yeah, I'm breaking up with you right now. First of all, no, you're not. That's bait. That's fake. That's one of those, what's it called when you don't really mean it? A false threat. Right there. Mm-hmm. She's just trying to get him to make sure, like, no. Like, she knows that he's a nice guy. He's supposed to stay a nice guy. That's the problem. Is he's a nice guy who's finally learning boundaries, and that's illegal. You're not allowed to have boundaries. So here he is literally saying, you're deflecting responsibility, and she's like, can't have that. I refuse to date a man who holds me in any way accountable.
It's like, goodbye.
Yeah, I'm breaking up with you right now. Not interested in this anymore. Don't want to deflect or anything. I'm good. Oh, she is pissed. She's having a Tempe tantrum.
I hope this is close to the end of his conversation.
You will be blocked from here on out. I'd recommend being very careful right now. What does that even mean? He says, I didn't overreact about you bringing up a suspect topic that 98% of mature adults would think you were projecting about an open relationship because you subconsciously wanted a pass for one now or in marriage. How could I be your safe sanctuary today after you placed me into that precarious position, needing to wonder what's going on with you? Talking about matching your freak and dismissing my cheesy message, asking how many women I've been with? You love when I'm mean to you? You have a bully kink.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, isolate from me, the one that's supposed to be your best friend. Then later you can avoid talking about all of this because it's the past and you won't want to accept any responsibility for it. 31, acting like a teen.
Damn.
Let's go, King. Pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. K. If me being with other women was your fantasy, then you could have just said that. Fantasy can be healthy when we both know what's going on. Do you think this is going to trigger her even more?
Well, I mean, clearly.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with my question. So I actually do agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking. I think there's something wrong with following it up with, I wonder if you can even match my freak. That's when everything went to sus land. We entered the sus pool. This woman talks exactly like my mom. See, Tewodros isn't a villain. He's just traumatized. And that's
clearly.
the key. Most villains are traumatized.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Tewodros, you're so traumatized, buddy.
I mean,
he's like, yeah.
It's pretty...
Yeah.
It's oozing in every message, but... I guess we're all a little bit.
God. There's nothing quite like mom trauma either. Trust me. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with my question. There's nothing wrong with any of my behavior. So we can agree to disagree on that. Taken out of context, I could see how my question could be a red flag, but the fact I told you I was listening more than having a conversation with my shipmates who are males, by the way, I don't know what shipmates means, but Navy women do have a reputation, I will say. So do Navy men. Navy people, y'all hoes. Even the Navy guys are like, yeah. Gamer Daddy, where are you? Come back and speak truth to this. Who are males that are jokingly or serious about cheating on their wives or girlfriends prompted me to ask you that same day if you desired multiple women. In no shape or form did I say that that was my desire. Yes, when you said you wonder if you could match the freak, that's when you implied it was your desire, actually. That was me being genuinely curious about how the male psyche operates.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I even clarified for you that I don't have that desire, but I feel like it's a natural instinct of males and wonder why you didn't have that. But I loved your response, so I was happy.
But you weren't.
I think you assuming from me simply asking that question that I wanted to pass hook up with others, whether now or in the future, is actually
a projection of insecurity on your part.
We should be able to have an adult conversation without me feeling like I'm being attacked. Not to mention, your way of arguing is very feminine.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're a quality human being.
Oh, wow. Okay. So now we're like, you know what? I'm going to start emasculating you in as many ways as I can. Also, wait, so being feminine is a negative thing? He's not arguing. I think she does have a bully kink. 3 months is plenty of time for me to realize that this is not it. Just make sure to share my perspective objectively and give both sides the story with your friends and when your friends and family ask why we broke up. Make sure that when you tell people why we broke up, you tell them that it's your fault, not mine. Okay? Make sure you do that for me. Okay? Don't worry, he's sharing all of the sides. Don't worry about that, ma'am. We got everybody's side. Just make sure to share that. See why I was waiting to tell my family about you? In 3 months, she hasn't told her family about him. Yeah, that's why. Because of you. This whole feminine temper tantrum you're throwing, that's why I haven't told any of my male shipmates about you for 3 months. This guy dodged so many bullets and has no idea.
Squad, dude.
I bet she's a Scorpio. See, I knew this honeymoon love bombing bullshit would come to an end because someone ain't healed enough. This is insane.
Keep going.
I'm done trying to do the work. I'm trying to live and let live and be drama free. Lastly, 31 acting like a teen is wild to say to someone you love.
Wow,
LOL.
being held accountable is wild to say to someone you love.
So is I'm breaking up with you right now.
Yeah, so is have you ever thought about fucking other people?
Also wild. Let's have a constructive argument, not attack each other. Why would we have a constructive argument? We're broken up.
Yeah, dude.
You just dumped me.
You've like been insulting him like numerous times throughout this. Like, fuck off, dude.
grow up. Or should I say, grow some balls, since we're going that route today, choosing evil. Also, this is a micro nitpick, but she is using the tan emoji, and I am going to guess with every fiber of my being that she is just a tan white woman and not actually a woman of any sort of color. Because I can't tell you, no, this is a thing. This is a thing in the hippie world.
Really?
It's a big thing in the hippie world. I can literally show you an account right now of a girl who I'm gonna find using brown hands, and she's not brown. Hold on. Satara Bird. I'm telling you, they do this. Wait, where is she? Does she have a new name now? Hold on.
I don't know.
I gotta prove my point about the brown hands. Where did she go?
She knows.
Man,
she
okay.
knows you're too dangerous.
I guess
She's
she just
blocked you.
disappeared into the ether? Move with Birdie. That's her new name. Hold on, we gotta find an emoji. I told you. She uses the brown hands, even though she's white, just because she gets tan.
She uses the brown hand.
Isn't that crazy? I'm sorry.
Sometimes I'll use the tan hand, sometimes, at my middle of July, but for the most part, I'm always the white guy hand. My son can use the brown hand. He can use the tan hand all day. He can use the tan hand all
your
day.
son, who our daughter still draws with the brown crayon on school assignments, is allowed to use it. He gets the card, but I will say that is a thing in the hippie world, okay?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Dude. When I saw that, I just assumed that she was, just Latina or something. Just not a not white person. Like a not white, but not
she
like
could
African
be. She
American.
could be, but I will say it's possible. Blocked,
It's
by
just,
the way.
if it is what you said, that just adds one last layer of like, ugh, like, oh, you were behaving badly, and let's just sprinkle on a little bit of like almost like digital blackface, just a tiny bit. So, and if that's the case, like,
Tewodros, you should email me. We probably have so much in common, to be honest with you. My mom recently was like, I should start watching your lives. I'm like, don't. No, don't. No, that's fine.
Tewodros says he's in Lansing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Join me on the turkey trot. Come run a 5K with me and we could go over our mom trauma.
Instead of the turkey trot, it'll be the trauma trot.
That's amazing. We could all use a good trauma trot. So they broke up. He says, from this morning, during the day, we ended up talking, and this is the result. I understand the way we talk is weird, and that we're both definitely neurodivergent and on the spectrum. No, you're just hippies. That's all. We're neurodivergent. But we don't talk that way. Y'all are just hippies.
I mean, there's probably times when I know, but there were people that I went to school with who talked that way.
There has never once been a time that you were like, you're my divine womb.
No, I'd never call you my anima, but I mean, like, move authentically. I'm like, I understand what that means. Like, I like go through the world not being, don't try and be something you're not. And it might just sound easier for them to say move authentically, but it's
God, he still thinks he blew it. He says, am I an idiot for messing this up? I feel awful. I wasn't very compassionate, and I let my ego blow up. Sir, your ego was barely in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You literally took several steps back, considered everything that you had to say, reasonably felt anger, reasonably recognized weirdo, unhealthy behaviors. You set fair boundaries and you called out toxicity. That's all you did. And now you're gonna let some hippie broad who probably engages in way more Middle Eastern cultural appropriations than they even understand convince you that you're the problem? Hippie girls do so much damage on
If
men
she's
every
trying to
day.
be drama free, she's Don Knotts.
I'm glad you read that one.
I love Don Knotts, dude.
Oh god, did he delete his whole account? I want to see if he responded to anybody or made any new posts since then. But no, I think that might have been all of it.
The amazing Mr. Limpet. Holy shit. I'm gonna fall in love with a fish.
Let me see. Oh god, he's back with her. There is an update. We're talking again. She's expressed quite a bit about where all of the things she said were coming from. She said she knows she needs to go to therapy and will do so. 18 downvotes. People are like, bro, you're a loser. He's like, you play Baldur's Gate. You're the loser. No, it's you, buddy. Why does TJ sound like Hank from King of the Hill?
That's Don Knotts! It's not a great Don Knotts impression, but if I'm trying to do Hank Hill, I'll do a little bit better one than just that. I'll tell you what.
Oh god, yeah, he's just blaming himself. Dude is
That's sad,
on today's
man.
stream of how cooked is this dude?
He's a charcoal brick.
Incinerated.
Use
But
him-
he's
use
a
him as
diamond by this point.
Dude, he's a fucking hockey puck. He's so burnt. Toss him on the ice, dude. He's a hoser.
Oh god, we can't save him. He's beyond saving. She's gonna have her jowls sunk in him for all time. His balls right here in her palm, and she can do whatever she wants with those jimmies for this and all days. He is so cooked. You're both assuming she's white just because she's using an emoji that you've seen some white women use. You realize
Actually,
that's
I told you I
stereotyping, right?
assumed she wasn't that, dude. That's actually not stereotyping. It's called deductive reasoning. Nice try to gotcha, though. Nice try to gotcha.
I'm assuming she's white because of all of the entitled Karen-like behavior and the hippy dippiness of it all. It's very white coded. I'm so sorry. TJ, could you please say, son, let me tell you something about your propane?
Son, let me tell you something about your propane.
He does such a good Hank Hill. Hank Hill is so hard to do.
Oh.
But yes, I did stereotype. I stereotyped. I love stereotyping hippies. If you don't like stereotyping hippies, I'm amazed you've lasted this long on this channel because I am always making fun of hippies. I love hippies. I have so many hippie friends. There's a weird crossover between jujitsu and hippies. Tons of hippies in the jujitsu world. Also, tons of right-leaning conservatives in the jujitsu world. It's kind of like one of the most beautiful things about jujitsu is the way it brings us all together to strangle each other, you know? No matter who you hate, you have a chance to strangle them on the mats. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. But Freedom Fiend, come on. Give me the grace that I did say numerous times. I am stereotyping. She might not be white. Guys, come on. Did I not say that?
We call that pattern recognition. Yeah, in the neurodivergent world, it's a little different. It's more all signs are pointing to. Thanks, guys. I do practice. To be fair, I have not listened to...
Punslinger slinging.
I do like Jujitsu. I haven't watched a Don Knotts show or movie in probably 25 years. Since like 2004.
I know.
20 years.
I need to find a way to make it so that every time Levi says calm down, it just registers as a super chat. And
I think we have to find like a GIF that plays specifically, or is it GIF? It's general.
We need I've been saying we need a calm down emoji is what we need for the members to use. Oh man. Yeah, so that guy's cooked. We can't save him. He's to the wolves, and that's that on that. Yeah. What are we gonna do? He's gone. But at least we can learn from his experience.
That's true.
At least we know what he's in for. And I feel like he got so close before. Like, that was probably the worst he's seen in 3 months. And he did get close to calling her out. So as these next few seasons come in and like the winter seasonal depression hits and she starts getting even more like neurotic and unhinged, I don't know how much more patience he's going to have. And if he truly is autistic, he's not going to be able to like fully keep crafting nice ways of saying things. Eventually he's just going to say what he means.
Well, that's the thing is like, there you go. See, he's local. Perfect.
I'm gonna go get coffee with Twojoros.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I know TJ's too distracted by me being asked out on stream.
What? Somebody what?
I was making a joke about getting asked out on stream, but that was...
Oh, I didn't even see that. I was just so thirsty.
Well, because he said he'd buy me coffee.
Oh,
but...
no, listen. He's already made solid comic book references. I trust the guy.
I'm the one who was like, come run a race with me. So I'm the one being the whore. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I heard the Trump one. Oh, God. Now Jay's coming in.
I was looking for a casual time to cut out of the stream so I don't make things crash and burn.
I know, we gotta move on to the next Are They Cooked one. Alright. Let me see if this one's still here. Actually, I do want to talk about Martha Stewart. Okay, who here has watched the Martha Stewart documentary now that it's out? If anybody. Okay, if not, there's a new documentary that just got dropped on Martha Stewart on Netflix. And I'm going to pull up just a quick clip from that. There is so much to analyze about this clip. Twojoros, it's going to bring up so much of your mom trauma. Nah, I'm not going to force it. Okay. This is a brief glimpse from the Martha Stewart documentary.
He was not satisfied at home. I don't know how many different girlfriends he had during this time, but I think there were quite a few. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and you think you're happily married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of shit. And look at him as a piece of shit and get out of it. Get out of that marriage. But I couldn't do that. Couldn't walk away.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship or when you were
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say
He did?
yes, you would confess it.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true. I don't think.
But what happened? You had an affair.
I had a very brief affair with a very attractive Irish man. And it was just nothing.
Oh my god. I know. I already know Twojoros the Third is like, is my mom Martha Stewart? Freedom Fiend, no, it's inductive reasoning. You're building up a profile based on the data you have, not using it to eliminate possibilities. But I did eliminate possibilities. I know you're mad, but I already said that there is plenty of possibility that she's not white. I was just saying that it wouldn't surprise me if she was white. Neither of those things would surprise me. Both very possible, okay? Dude, that's so funny to me, Martha Stewart being like, if your husband cheats on you, he's a piece of shit and you need to leave him. Did I do that? No, I had an affair, but he didn't know about it, so it doesn't count. So someone smashed Martha Stewart around the house. Look, I don't know where she was having that affair with that married Irish or attractive Irish man, okay? But it absolutely does count just because even if they don't find out about it. That whole documentary was crazy because that whoever this Irish man is isn't even like the first time she cheats on her husband. She also admits that on their honeymoon, she went to a cathedral and ends up making out with some guy in the church on her honeymoon. And she just writes that off as not cheating with the same logic because it was nothing. And she argues that because she didn't end her marriage over it, it doesn't count. His affairs count because he ended up divorcing her. But hers don't count, apparently. Don't you know, if you cheat, but you don't tell them about it, pregnancy and STIs just don't exist. Yes, on their honeymoon, dude. Like, couldn't even wait. And I'm sorry, but like, if you cheat on the honeymoon, you've been cheating since day one. There has never been a time that you didn't cheat. You just found this dude in a church? If you can cheat in a church, you'll cheat anywhere. There's nothing stopping you from cheating at that point. Martha Stewart was absolutely wild for that one, dude. Oh, you couldn't hear the audio? Oh, shoot. Really? Okay, we'll listen to it again. Dang it. Let me see what I did here. How do I have this set? Oh, I have it set to headphones. That's why. I'm sorry, everybody. We'll watch it one more time for fun.
He was not satisfied at all. I don't know how many different girlfriends he had during this time, but I think there were quite a few. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and you think you're happily married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of shit. And look at him as a piece of shit and get out of it. Get out of that marriage. But I couldn't do that. Couldn't walk away.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship, or when you were a stockbroker?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say he knew about it.
He did?
Yes, you would confess to him.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true. I don't think.
But what happened? You had an affair.
That part also kills me. Is she's like, women, heed my words. If a man cheats on you, he's a piece of shit. And the interviewer just straight up a savage. Just a little bit soft sounding. Ugh, I'm so sorry. I thought I did such a good mastering job, but apparently not. I heard it just not very loud. But yeah, I love that she's like, he's a piece of shit. Interviewer's like, didn't you have an affair? And she's like, well, yeah, but he didn't know about it. And they're like, no, he did. And she's like, oh, really? No. I don't think that's true. Oh my God. I really do wish that they would have been able to get her husband, Andy, on that documentary. I would have loved to hear from him. It's an interesting documentary. Absolutely. Martha Stewart is so unhinged, and like anybody who was raised by strict, unhugging Slavic parents probably like knows someone like Martha Stewart. See you later, Aetherius. Hold on, I do want to just play it one more time just to see if we can get the mastering.
I had a very brief.
How's everything sound together now?
With a very attractive
Decent?
Irish man.
A little bit better?
And it was just nothing.
A little bit better. That's why I love OBS. I try. I'm still learning a little bit about all this mastering stuff. Oh man. So how cooked is Martha Stewart's ex-husband? Actually, I don't know. What's that guy up to now? Martha Stewart ex Andy. God, there was some really funny stuff though. I mean, Martha Stewart definitely like I think got Chad widowed by that guy. This one says, where is Martha Stewart's ex-husband Andy now? There's a long article. They share a daughter. Today, Andy Stewart is the publisher emeritus of Fieldstone Publishing, a publisher that specializes in field guides, gardening books, and more. My God, they have so much in common. Could you imagine if she would have just, like, not cheated on him? After his divorce, Andy Stewart married painter Robin Fairclough in 1993. They would later divorce, though. Andy would go on to marry Shyla Nelson. Nelson is the CEO of Fieldstone Publishing. Okay. Good for him then. I don't know. I always need to play your lives louder. When I get with commercials, it blows out my ears. So I tried to make my volume a little bit louder. Do you notice that it's a little bit louder this stream? All right. Here's another Am I Cooked story. And more text messages for us to read together. Brings the soft sounds up, high sounds down. I did add a compressing filter, actually. Twodros. That story is literally the story of how I was conceived. Mom was going to MSU, working at Sears. That's the most Michigan thing I've ever heard. the only, if your mom wasn't so young, she probably would have worked at Hudson's. Cheated on her fiance with my dad, a high school dropout. I feel emasculated being told I'm smart because of that. Wait, emasculated by me? I'm confused of what you mean by that. Or that emasculated being told you're smart because of what exactly? Sorry, I'm confused about that part. I mean, what did they find out that it's like 30% of all kids who end up getting paternity tested are not their dad's kid after all? And I mean, that statistic is, that doesn't mean that 30% of all kids are not their dad's. Again, that's 30% of kids who are paternity tested. So that's the population of kids under the most suspicion of infidelity, right? So it's definitely not going to be as high as 30% of like all kids ever. Probably a lot though. Okay, we're going to pull up some more texts. This reads, by the way, am I overreacting? Girl I met on Bumble thinks it's weird that I spend Christmas with my parents. She said, but maybe we'd celebrate Christmas together. He says, I'm always at my parents' on Christmas. My birthday is actually on the 25th. She says, K. Hits him with the K. So she is annoyed and unimpressed that this man wants to spend both the familial holiday of Christmas and his own birthday with his parents. That's annoying to her. He offers, we can still celebrate together, but maybe not on the 24th. She says, I don't need a relationship where a guy is always at the parents on Christmas and B-Day. With like a, I guess that's like a I'm sleeping on you emoji. He says, even my brother still comes home on Christmas and he's 30. You know, 30, that old age, but no, they're probably just young. She says, LOL, that's weird and not nice. And he says what we're all fucking thinking, which is, what? I, like, not even in the most Jehovah's Witnesses am I seeing where she's coming from on this. Like, it's not nice to go, let me check my notes here, see your family on the day that your mom gave birth to you, or for traditional holidays that you've always spent together. I've heard of like stage 5 clingers early on, but it's mean of you to celebrate your birthday and Christmas with your family is definitely a new one. He says, why? She says, a question mark. Like, what do you mean, why? You don't get it? You don't get how weird you are for liking your family? I'm your family now. You don't need your mom or dad or brother. You have me, a womb space. He says it's weird to spend Christmas with your family. She says, because I'd like to celebrate holidays with my boyfriend, not parents, LOL. That's weird. He says, I love spending Christmas with my family. Nerd! You nerd! Look at this nerd over here who wants to see his family for Christmas. What a mama's boy. She says, nice for you, laughing emoji. What do you need from me then? It's like she is 100% the type of girl where when you go, hey, can you scoot over a little bit? She goes, fine, I'll just sleep on the floor. His mom texts him, what are you bringing to Thanksgiving? And for the rest of the day, it's, what do you need to talk to me for? You have your mom. Why don't you tell her what you're going to bring for Thanksgiving? That whore. I bet you just want to be in your mom's vagina again. You were already in there once. Do you even love me? That's crazy. She wants her boyfriend to have a couple extra womb mates. Ah, pun slinger. I love that you always squeeze a good pun in there. Samantha says, it's normal to spend holidays with family. It's usually a sign of ABUSE or something wrong if people don't go to their families for holidays. Yeah, it's like if someone doesn't want to spend time with their family for holidays, like I usually assume something's bad. It's definitely like a green flag, though, if people are close to their families on holidays. What do you mean? He says, the thing that I've been waiting for someone reasonable to say, we can still celebrate together, which is what every couple pretty much does, is they find a way to celebrate holidays together. He says, that's not very nice of you to say. She says, on another day, that's not cool. He says, I'm sorry, but that's just how my family spends Christmas. She says, because it's weird, like, don't get a girlfriend and stay with your parents. Like, what? Everyone knows the second you start dating a girl off Bumble, your family is dead to you. You don't even talk to those losers anymore. Like, everybody's doing it. He says, just because I spend the holidays there? She says, yes. Oh my God. He says, maybe it's different in Ukraine. I actually did see the name Yulia, and I was like, oh, that's a Ukrainian name. And I was like, not my people. But actually, I found out I'm not even really Ukraine. My whole life I thought I was. I'm actually more Balkan. So let's dunk on some Yukis, you chemical ass. No, I'm just kidding. Twotros. Emasculated means she called the men that she cheats on, or she just keeps around as orbiters smart and intelligent. Oh, okay. No, I see exactly what you're saying now. Like, the only thing worse than getting cheated on is them constantly speaking highly of that person. I completely know what you're talking about. Here's a new one. How about meeting his parents if she really wants to be with him? No. You want to introduce me to other women? Oh, man. I will say, though, Slavs are crazy. Slavs are crazy. You gotta be ready for a Slavic woman. I've never done this, though. That's wild. Maybe it's different in Ukraine. It's not. But it's not, though. My family literally off the boat from Ukraine. It goes, my didush, my grandpa, gets taken by the Nazis and put on a death train to Siberia. He escapes, flees to the US. That's how we got here. Okay, so like literally directly from Ukraine, they love Christmas. The fuck. The Advocate's outburst gives me a whole new meaning to doing your mom. But then again, I caught a Reddit story about an open family. So I've read some traumatizing things I'm still trying to repress on Reddit. I've definitely heard it all. All I can say is spending Christmas with your family, very, very tame ordinarily, but angelic compared to some of these Reddit stories. She says, then why do you need a girlfriend for? It's weird AF. What is a relationship to you? Just sex? Wow, that is quite the spin on things. Oh, you have to do other things? You have to go to work? Why am I not providing enough value for you? You have to go grocery shopping? Just eat me. Why did you even get me? He says, no. She says, well, it seems like it. He says, what? I never said anything like that. You can still have a girlfriend and spend Christmas with your family. Obviously. Singer says, if you think you heard it all, you haven't read enough Reddit yet. That's, I know. I've definitely, sometimes when I think I can't be surprised anymore, I simply go online. She says, in a relationship, you also spend time together and holidays like Christmas and B-Day together. If not, then it's bullshit. Not a relationship. Just sex. By the way, that's another funny thing is my mom, I don't know if this is like a translation thing from Ukrainian to English, but my mom always says, instead of that's bullshit, she goes, that is such a bullshit. That is such a bullshit. Like one singular bullshit. I just always thought it was funny. He says, you seem really demanding and you don't even consider my side could also be normal. She says, what are you talking about? What do you mean I'm doing anything wrong? This is like your first date dating a Slav. Your job is to just tell us we're right. He says, I already told you that all my friends do the same, so how is it weird? She says, are you serious now? It's not weird to you that you don't see your partner and separate and don't spend time together on holidays, Christmas, B-Day? Are you effing kidding me? It's not effing okay at all. Then it's some shit, not a relationship. I can't believe you are serious and don't understand it. Wait, you get it? What's your POV? I want to hear you on this one. Yeah, Tewodros, like I said, we could unpack a lot. My mom and Martha Stewart, the same person. Okay. I can't believe you are serious and don't understand it. He says, I never said that we can't spend any time together on the holidays. I told you that we could still celebrate together, but I'm 24, but on the 24th, I'm at my parents'. The Christmas holidays don't instantly stop after the 24th. So wait, this guy's even offering to spend the actual 25th with her, and she's still this upsetty spaghetti? Like, you guys are talking about Christmas Eve. That's not even Christmas. You're saying you even get the whole holiday and you're mad you don't get both? Okay, she's just gonna be mad about anything then. She says, so you are like, okay, I'll spend holidays with parents. Puck, puck, puck. And GF can go F. LOL. FML. He says, no, the holidays isn't just the 24th. Right, and you know what's also funny? Is Ukrainians don't even celebrate Christmas on the 25th. Ukrainian Christmas is January 6th. That's the funniest part, is this isn't even Ukrainian Christmas. If she wants to be a real Yuki about it, she needs to be celebrating it on January 6th, not even on the 25th. That's funny. She says, but the 25th is when you celebrate. Yes, with his family. So you want to culturally appropriate into American holidays, but you want to do it your own way? Dude, you can have the 25th and the 6th. You can have both other Christmases. Man, she's just not going to budge on anything. She says, and you tell me, no, darling, go F off. I'm with my parents. Like, WTF, this is so weird. He says, I'm sorry, just because you think it's weird doesn't mean it is. She says, OMG, you are insane. If that's okay for you, I've already said it, and now I'm sure. Maybe you guys don't become passport bros, actually. Maybe forget the passport bros thing. I've already said it, and now, in fact, now I'm sure that you are not searching for a normal relationship. You're searching for non-serious bullshit. You should write it in your profile. He should. Hey guys, as a fair warning to everybody, in case this is a red flag for you, I celebrate Christmas with my parents. If I saw that, I would be laughing and be like, man, dating's been a hardship for you, huh? That's how I know a man has trauma. It's like whenever you see a weird rule, you know what I mean? Like if you see a weird rule that's like, let's say a uniform guideline in your kid's handbook, and there's something weird like you cannot wear superhero capes to school, It's because you know someone has been coming to school wearing superhero capes every day until it got caught on something and it became a problem. Like, if there's a weird rule, you know there was a weird story behind it. And if this guy really did add to his profile, hey ladies, I like to celebrate Christmas with my family. I hope that's okay. I already know this guy has been through Christmas hell. He says, okay, I don't think this will work. We haven't even met yet. They're both stupid. All right, now I'm not on anybody's side anymore. I can't. He entertained it this long, and he hasn't even once seen her in person. Doesn't even know that he's not even being catfished. Hello, poor Bobby? Are we doing this again? Speaking of educational Netflix documentaries, oh my god, that's another one. This one just came out called Poor Bobby, and it's all about this girl who gets catfished for like 10 years straight. I won't even tell you the spoilers or anything, but just straight up catfished for like 10 years. And throughout the whole documentary, everyone wants you to feel bad for her, but I went on the subreddit afterward and everyone just hates the girl. They're like, how could you be so stupid to not even meet up with a guy for 10 years? And that's what most people think. Most people are like, nah, because that's a you problem at that point. She's like, well, this could happen to anybody. Literally, no, the fuck it could not. There's a lot of us here. None of us are going to be dating someone for 10 years without meeting them face to face. Wasting our best years? No. That does not just happen to anybody. That happens to a pure dumbass. You've been entertaining this argument this whole time with someone you have not even gone on one single date with. You've been talking to someone for 3 months without even meeting? Nah, because it's on both of you now. You're both cooked. Okay. Upsetty spaghetti sounds like a family recipe, something that sounds disappointing but tastes amazing. Maybe something TJ's Italian pants can whip up. It's funny you say that because we do make a lot of weird pasta in our house. We love a good weird pasta. Edamame pasta, black bean pasta. We love weird pasta, so we could make some upsetty spaghetti. Yeah, at minimum video chat. I actually think video chatting is a really good idea before a date for everybody to prevent the catfishing, to make sure just you are who you say you are, I think is very fair and valid, you know? But no, this is on both of you at this point. 3 months wasted. He says, sorry for wasting your time, which is very generous of him, but today's a day of just cooked ass dudes. I've been catfished via a fake video chat before. Oh my god! Wait, Dr. Gamester for real? No. Oh my god. Was it filters or like it was a video chat but it was like pre-recorded somehow? Wow. Oh my god. Yeah, like literally it was a recording. Oh my god, it reminds me of the live stream murderer, where this guy was a streamer, like not really a successful one, but he was a regular gaming streamer. And his case became famous because he pre-recorded himself gaming and he uploaded it. And during the time that he was live streaming, aka just playing a recorded game, he was actually out murdering someone. And he tried to use his live stream as an alibi. That's exactly what that just reminded me of. Crazy. She says, go F yourself, a-hole. You're so shitty and dumb. He says, you've been calling me and my family weird this entire time just because you think we're doing something wrong. And again, I've been calm this entire time and you're telling me to go f myself and that I'm an a-hole. She says, you are calm because you don't give a shit about me and you are not searching for a relationship, but for some bullshit. But I'm glad we haven't met. I can't imagine how I'd be hurt and how more. Also, it's funny to me that she was like trying to call him out as just using her for sex when they've literally never even physically touched in 3 months. It'd be shitty to imagine how I'd be hurt and how more shitty it would feel if we met and started dating and then I ask you what we will do for Christmas and you tell me no, go F off and do whatever you want and go spend with time with other people. That's all your family is just other people to an unhinged girl on Bumble. She says, idiot. I just read that in the Dwight voice. Idiot. All right, I'm done with this. Just because me and my family and even all of my friends spend the holidays in a different way than you're used to doesn't mean that I'm not looking for a relationship. I hope you find someone that fits your expectations. Good night. So here's what not to do on Bumble. This is one of those times where it's like, she's the crazier one, but you also need to get it together, buddy. You can't be entertaining this. Oh, God. He's cooked. They're all cooked. Everyone is so cooked today. What is this one? I simply put "this is crazy" in my notes. Video unavailable. I guess we'll never know. I have the most, like, ADHD notes to self when I build my itineraries. Which one do I want to do here? Is this one even still up? Okay. I've got another one. A lot of these am I cooked situations are am I overreacting? This one reads, am I overreacting? My boyfriend's friend has a problem with me asking him not to sleep in bed with her. Is your boyfriend's friend a coke-addled extra in LA by any chance? Because do I know a girl who probably has the exact same mentality? She says, hi everyone. My boyfriend has a big group of friends with a lot of girls in it. A lot of times after they go out or have too much to drink, they'll crash at someone's house. One night he came home and shared that he slept in bed with this girl who the texts are from. We did not have a fight at all. I know he's grown up doing this, but I told him that I wasn't super comfortable with that and asked if he could maybe not do that. And he didn't argue at all and expressed complete respect for my boundary. We haven't even talked about it since. However, this morning, after they went out, I got these text messages. Am I overreacting by telling her that she's overstepping, or are her concerns valid? We're gonna have to get into this in just a second. I'm gonna read the super chat I missed from Freedom Fiend, and thank you again, by the way. Have you seen the thing where the guys show their arguments with their girlfriends to AI and it breaks down who is more rational and if one's being manipulative? No! If you can possibly send that to me, I would love to see that. Yeah, if anybody can even, like, post it in the chat, I will get to it right away. That's amazing. Okay, so these text messages. So this is the boyfriend. Said, I think this is him texting her. Hi, so last night when blah blah went out and we all went back to blah and we're gonna take the pull-out couch, he let me... Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought she was text pointing to this and saying the whole text message was from the boyfriend. Sorry, the gray text message is from the girl who's the boyfriend's friend, but the green blob here in the text message is her referring to the boyfriend. So she says, hi, girlfriend. So last night when me and your boyfriend and all of our friends went out, we all went back to someone's place, and your boyfriend and I were going to take the pull-out couch, and he let me know that you were not comfortable with him sleeping in a quote-unquote bed with me. While I totally understand, I want to let you know that I have never tried to do anything with your boyfriend and would never. I felt bad that he had to just sleep on the floor, and it just didn't seem fair to him. I promise there's nothing nefarious about us sleeping in bed together. We've been friends for 16 years. Is anybody else reading this as anything other than I want to be able to sleep with your boyfriend? I don't like that you're not letting me? Or do you think it's actually possible that she genuinely thought that this was the right thing to do and that it's genuinely the right thing for her and the boyfriend to sleep on the pull-out couch together so that his back can be better? Because I'll tell you how I would feel as the woman receiving this message. My first thought is, I don't like your friend anymore. I wouldn't be charitable with this one. I would try to respond kindly if I responded at all. But to be completely honest, if I got this text, I would be like, your friend's a fucking weirdo. Every red flag would be going off. Twodros, thank you for another super chat, by the way. You've been extremely generous. I've heard worse stories about Christmas. I know a woman who cheated on her husband with her ex on Christmas Eve. Christmas is the most common time for relationships to end. I don't know if it's the most common time for cheating. I don't know when prime cheating hours are, but I do know Christmas is usually a sussy time. So she responds, hey girl, I know nothing has ever happened between the two of you, don't worry. For me, it's just a matter of what I feel is appropriate in my personal relationships. I trust him fully, but for me, I'm just not comfortable with him sharing a bed with another woman, even if he's known her for a while. It doesn't speak to either of you in terms of trustworthiness, it's just my boundary, with a smile. Perfect. Great. That should be it. That should be the end. Do you think it is, though? I have ace friends that would think that's fine, but only the neurodivergent ones would not realize that's not a good text to send. Resending so you can see it. Oh, thank you so much. And again, it depends on the boundary. Like, I guess some people would be totally okay with that, but like, it just seems weird to me that she can't accept that that's still a normal boundary for other people to have. Like, it's fine that you have a friend group that does that, but it is odd to me that you're pretending like that's not a normal boundary for plenty of people to have. You know, like I've said before, I am a little bit more traditional in my marriage in that, like, I think it's weird to even have sleepovers once you're married. Don't get me wrong, there are exceptions for everything, right? Like, if my husband is going into the east side of the state for some reason, that would make sense that he would spend the night at his parents' house without me, instead of like driving so many hours in one day. If I go to visit one of my best friends out in BFE, Michigan, it might make sense for me to spend the night, but to be honest, we both avoid it at all costs. If it means driving the extra couple hours at home in the dark at night, that's what we'll do so that we go home to each other and we don't put ourselves in situations where we even have to spend the night with members of the opposite sex. It's just, to us, that's just what we're comfortable with. That's just, in our opinion, a fair boundary. It just makes us more comfortable, And I don't know, like, that just seems normal to me. And I will say this, if I was hanging out with my friends and a guy was like, oh, hey, like, just so you know, like, my girlfriend, she's not really, like, comfortable with me sleeping in bed with other women, so I'm gonna go sleep on the floor. There is literally not an inch of me that would even consider sending this text message to his girlfriend. Never. The audacity. Guys, could you imagine if you told your girlfriend, like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with you, like, spending the night at any guy friends' houses, and she's like, oh, sure, bet, and it wasn't an issue between the two of you, but then you get a text from some guy and he's like, hey bud, I think it's a bit insecure of you to not let your girl chill at my house overnight anymore. You'd want to punch him in the face, right? Like, we're not just letting that one go. So she responds, perfectly normal. No insecurity, even reassures this girl, like, hey, this was nothing personal. It's any woman. It's not just you, you know? Let's see how it goes. He says, right, but he had to sleep on the ground. That doesn't seem fair. And he has back problems, so I'm sure he wasn't happy about it either. Girl, stop talking before you end up with your own need for a nose job. Okay? Stop talking before your nose is as curved as mine is right now, girlfriend. That you are trying to incite violence out of what appears to be a non-violent woman. Like, this is one of those things where, like, I don't agree with violence myself, but if it happened, I can't fully blame this woman. What are you doing right now? She could sleep on the floor. Thank you. She says, if it was a problem for him, he could have called me to pick him up, or Ubered home, or talked to me about it. He hasn't mentioned it to me. My boyfriend hasn't mentioned it. But don't worry, the one who really knows what's best for him does. She goes on to say, okay, well, if I'm being super transparent, it just feels like it's really over the top possessiveness, and it's not a good look for either of you. You can trust your boyfriend to sleep in a bed with his girlfriends, and seeing him sleep on the floor makes me sad for him. I really like the two of you together, but I know him very well and wanted to give you an idea of how this might be affecting him and those around him. The way that this girl would not be a part of this friend group anymore. Like, I'm sorry, that would be it for me. That would be... She could have at least gotten to have sleepovers with you, just not even in the same bed. She could have still gotten to enjoy that. But that's the end. That's the end for me. If I'm the girlfriend in this situation, it's you're done being her friend, or we're done dating. Hard line in the sand? That's not being tolerated. Good God, what in the pick-me hell? This girl is 200% going to start uploading photos of the two of them from this day in 10 years. She's gonna be the next one. Okay, that's... nope. But she still is a much better woman than I, that's for sure. She says, hey, while I appreciate how much you care for my boyfriend, honestly, I feel like you're overstepping. This is not your business, and I find it strange you're being a little insistent on demanding he sleep in a bed with you. He agreed to this boundary wholeheartedly, and that's all you need to know about it. It's my relationship, and he knows he can come to me if he has a problem with it. I'm done talking about this with you. To which she gives a thumbs up. Hire this woman to write all of your corporate emails because, again, I would have not been as nice at all. I want to see if there's any updates. Okay, I do have an update for you. When was this? Yeah, the first one was posted. I first found this, okay, 8 days ago. So 7 days ago, there's an update. So I'm blind reacting to this one. We're going to blind react together. I hope she got hit by a bus. Hi everyone, I have updates for you. Unfortunately, no text messages to show because he called her, so this will just be text. Damn it. You gotta get a paper trail for us here at Reddit. So I showed him the text, and he literally could not believe it at first. That was my husband's reaction when I showed him the photos. If you're coming in late and you don't know what I'm talking about, way earlier on in the stream, I was telling everybody about a weird story that happened yesterday about how one of his ex-girlfriends from over a decade ago has recently begun uploading photos of the two of them together. Very weird pick me behavior. This is very similar. And it was like the same thing of like, this isn't just me being like, well, I don't like it, so you need to do something about it, even if you don't feel weird about it. It's like we both felt weird about it. We were both like, hey, yo. She says, I have never seen him get mad, but his face got red and he was really quiet for a moment. He said he was mortified by her behavior toward me. He asked a million times if I was okay. He said she argued with him about it at the time because it's never been an issue, and he just brushed her off. I asked what exactly he said to her, and his words are, I said it makes you uncomfortable, and I want to respect that. Okay, there it is. She says, I'm cool with that response to her personally, but I will say this as a word of wisdom to men. If you're ever in this situation, because unfortunately both myself and TJ have been put in these situations where we have to set hard boundaries with people of the opposite sex who have demonstrated some kind of interest in us in some way, or are at least behaving in ways that are reasonably not very chill to our significant other, and we've had to set those boundaries. And for everybody listening, the best way to approach it is, hey, it just doesn't make us comfortable. We're not comfortable with it. That way, you're a united front. Because I'm sorry, if a guy is like aggressively hitting on me and asking me out, if your girlfriend is getting aggressively hit on and asked out, wouldn't you rather her say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, I would like you to stop, or even, hey, me and my man are not comfortable with this, I would like you to stop, as opposed to, hey, sorry, my boyfriend doesn't really like this, so I have to stop doing it now. Unfortunately, even if your intentions are good, even if your intentions are just to honor your significant other, the way it ends up coming across is that your partner is just controlling and you don't actually want to do it. You know what I mean? For women, I appreciate my man's peace over your feelings. Like, that's another good way of saying it, but just, you just want to kind of pay attention to how you're doing it. You never want to make it sound anywhere close to, I'm only doing this because my boyfriend told me not to. I'm only doing this because my girlfriend said so. You never want to make it sound like that. So, like, for her, if you like it, I love it, girl, but I will say those words probably only incensed her inner pick-me that she was already feeling. Because, like, I can say maybe in that time, she might have been, like, getting in her own head and taking it a little bit too personally. Like, well, what does she think I am? Some kind of slut? You know what I mean? Like, maybe she got mad about it, and he could have, like, told her, you know, it's not you, it's anybody. You know what I mean? Anyway, she goes on to say, he called her immediately and told her she crossed a line and needed to apologize to me. That her behavior makes it seem like she's trying to sabotage his relationship. Because it did. Again, like, that would have caused problems for me. And then he was honest with her that most of the friends' girlfriends don't like her. Oh, that's a new development. See, now I know, yeah, and that's for a reason. They don't like her for a reason. Any insecurity that she was feeling in that moment was just her reading the room appropriately but still being in denial about it. The reason that you feel like people's girlfriends don't like you is because you're probably the biggest pick-me in the room, dude. Like, saying like, oh, well, you guys have only been dating a short time and like, I think I know him a little bit better than you do. You're asking for a knuckle sandwich. You are asking for a head and arm triangle. You are asking to be Ezekiel'd for as long as the day goes on. Like, girlfriend, you make me violent. This isn't even happening to me and I want to beat your ass. So he tells her most of the guy's girlfriends don't like her, as a king does. She's getting cooked now. And she needs to reevaluate how she's making people feel. I was surprised by this because he's typically non-confrontational like that. I didn't hear her responses. She was not on speaker. They spoke about it for like 5 minutes. See, now I will say this. TJ's such a king, he would have absolutely put it on speakerphone. I've seen him do it before. He's had to call women to draw hard boundaries when they too were being weirdo pick-me's. And I got to watch him tell them off on speakerphone. And it is, you love to see it, you know? But I get it. Maybe he was just trying to be polite. It wasn't the blow up that some of you wanted. He was clearly not happy though. My favorite thing he said was, "You're doing a great job of pushing people away. No one wants the drama." He told her what's most important is that she apologizes to me, and then he hung up. That was it. I have not received a text from her yet. I'm not sure yet what he's going to do regarding their friendship, but it's surely very damaged now. There's no doubt she will be out and about with the whole group at various points. But why though? At what point, if this girl continuously causes problems with every guy's girlfriend, y'all really need to like stand back and ask why we're just keeping the pick-me-ass homie hopper around. Like, what is she bringing to the friend group? I don't understand. I'm really not threatened by her. I can deal with a crazy woman and trust him enough to deal with her as well. She doesn't hold any sway over him. So that's all I have for you guys. Sorry. I hate to be one of those like Redditors who's like, you dealing with this reasonably isn't good enough. You need to go full nuclear. But like, me personally, you guys can maybe call me insecure if you want. But again, me personally, I would not be cool with her continuing to hang out in the friend group because there was never a resolution. With all that happened is everybody just continued to enable her behavior. He literally basically told her, hey, we aren't going to have a healthy friendship if you don't apologize to my girlfriend. She said, bet, refused to apologize, and now is going to expect to continue being part of the friend group without any consequences. And I'm sorry, but like, that's not gonna fly with me. If that's how you're treating everybody's girlfriends and everybody knows it, it's time the friend group talks about this. You guys ever have to kick someone out of the friend group? I've had to. It's been a long time since it's happened, but like I had a close friend group like this back in the day. We called ourselves the Wolf Pack, and it was the same thing. It was guys, it was girls. We were getting together, hanging out like all night long. We were all super tight. But we had a friend who was very problematic, and he was just lying about everything. It was like chronically lying. And it was one of those things that we tried to just kind of sweep under the rug like this friend group did. Like, we all know he lies, but we don't really want to cause problems, so we're just going to let it go. But like, eventually these lies became damaging. He started stealing people's pills. He started lying about girls he was sleeping with that he wasn't sleeping with, which was causing reputation damage to those poor girls. And at that point, we all decided to have an intervention. We sat him down in a big room with all of us, and we were like, hey, bud, you are chronically lying. You either have to admit it and work on it, or we're not going to be friends with you anymore. And guess what he did? He refused to admit that he was a liar, and we all cut him out. And it was hard and it sucked. But like, that's what a good friend group does. They don't just enable toxicity and bring the whole fucking friend group down with it. Kick her out, okay? But she also goes on to say a few more things. She's like answering technical questions. One, He didn't fully have to sleep on the ground. He took cushions from the couch and made himself a makeshift bed. Oh yeah, because I'm sure this blew up and there were still people who were like, why'd you make him sleep on the ground? Like, I'm sure there was like one or two people who actually did have her side. Two, he doesn't have back problems. He twinged something in his back at the gym last week and it'll clear up soon. I don't know what she's on about with that, which I should have specified in my original post. Three, I don't want to get defensive, but I want to clarify I didn't demand he doesn't sleep in a bed with women. I asked him about it. Girl, you're allowed to demand that. Stop trying to... I can't say this enough to women. Stop trying to be the cool girlfriend. Stop. If you don't want to date a guy who sleeps with other women, that's fine. If you don't want to be with a guy who likes a bunch of OnlyFans models girls' photos, you're allowed to say that. It's not insecure. You're allowed to say, this makes me uncomfortable. This is embarrassing. This feels disrespectful. You're allowed to say all of those things without society convincing you that you're just an insecure woman. TJ's not allowed... I'll straight up tell you guys, and you can judge me all you want. TJ's not allowed to sleep with other women while he's married to me. Fuck no. TJ's not going to be out here flirting with other women or speaking in any kind of like sexual way to other women, even if it's all in good fun, even if it's harmless. That's not what my husband is going to be doing while married to me. Now, if TJ wants to go do those things as a single man, he has every right in this world, but my husband doesn't get to do those things, and I don't feel bad about it. Because you have the freedom to be single. You don't have to be my husband. I don't have a pew-pew to your head telling you this is what you got to do, but if you want to be my husband, yeah, that's it. That's it. You're allowed to have boundaries. If you want to be my boyfriend, if you want to be my girlfriend, you don't get to do these things, and that's fine. And if you don't like those boundaries, you don't have to date me. Easy. Oh, TJ's allowed to flirt with other men. That's fine. Of course it is. TJ's allowed to, you know, put his finger in other... No, he's not. No, being gay is fine. That's not cheating. No, it's the women. No, that's crazy, though. 4. There was a lot of debate about this rule I set, and it was interesting to read how differently everyone feels about it. It's not that I don't trust him, it's that I find sleeping next to someone to be very intimate. I can't believe she feels like she has to explain this. Are any of you guys okay with your significant other sleeping in the same bed with someone of the opposite sex? You can say yes. Like, I'm not going to judge you. I literally just said, like, that's just me. Like, that's a personal boundary that I have, and I think it's one that a lot of people have, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But out of curiosity, like, are you guys okay with that, genuinely? Zoe, my god, barbecue for the win. Also sounds like girls acting the men's mothers might be useful here. Are you really sure about that? I would be disappointed. Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? What? Yeah, she is being like a mommy to him. Yeah, all of you guys are hell no, hell no. No, unless it's family. Even then, I don't think my husband would ever share a bed with any of his female cousins. Dylan is meh. Darrier wouldn't even be okay with her having male friends. I have absolutely no problem with my husband having female friends at all. I think it's extremely healthy. We have tons of, you know, he has tons of female friends. He would not be TJ without female friends. However, those friendships are very different than how he spends time with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, TJ and his female friends are not, like, going out and spending, like, one-on-one time together. You know what I mean? Like, that involves, like, they're generally all of the hangouts are in group settings. The conversations are, like, exchanges of memes. You know? You're not, like... I would be weird if my husband was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the movies and then go have dinner with my female friend. Like, My female friends are just my wife's friends and our neighbor. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about right. That sounds about normal, you know? She goes on to say, I also don't want to share too much about her because I don't want to dox everyone, but she is known to be extremely jealous as all of the friends are starting to settle down with their partners. I'm not shocked that this happened. She also says, I will not be showing him or her this thread. Sorry. I'm so disappointed. Like, I appreciate that she's trying so hard to be a reasonable girlfriend because, let's be real, not all of us try hard enough. Sometimes we let the insecure thoughts win, and, you know, sometimes we might show a little bit of ugly jealousy. And I can't say that I've been perfect and kept, you know, any jealousy completely out of my marriage, right? But, like, at the same time, I feel like she needs to be freaking out a little bit more about this. Like, you're not angry enough at what's going on here. So, all I'm saying is somebody needs to humble this broad because that was not enough of a wake-up call. She gets to just keep hanging out with everybody like nothing happened. Kick her out. She's only going to get worse. What this is ultimately what this is going to result in, I can almost promise you this, is she is going to be that girl who gets belligerently wasted at one of these guys' weddings, spills red wine all over the bride's dress, and then tries to kiss the groom. Someone tell me I'm wrong, I dare you. Okay? If they don't kick her out of the friend group, that's what's going to happen. All right? God, does she have any other comments as updates? She's just kind of yapping. No major updates to that. I'll say this. How cooked are they? Well, I think they're still cooked. Twodro, I don't trust it because I've been the guy that women cheat on their husbands with. Like my old work wife who still texts me nudes. I think that changes a lot of men's brain chemistry because I've talked to a couple guys at my jujitsu gym who say the same thing, who say that a lot of their trust issues with women come from how many married women they regularly sleep with. And, like, I don't blame them. Like, I would never trust a man who was trying to get with me while dating someone or married to someone. And that would also give me trust issues. In fact, whenever married men, like, have hit on me, I'm like, this destroys my faith in society. You know? Am sick, party money, dad stream, missed a super. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wait, did I miss one of yours? Or did you mean the one I just missed? Oh my god, there it is. Oh, no, I got your other one. Okay, I'm all caught up. Yeah, they're cooked, dude. I'm glad that he called her and handled it. That's exactly what TJ would have done and has done in the past. He is very good at sticking up for me, sticking up for our relationship. But the failure to execute the consequences is where they're cooked, where this is only just going to keep happening because he literally told her, you need to apologize to my girlfriend. And then no one ever followed through. So no one's going to learn anything. Like, here's the thing. If anybody feeling uncomfortable about this did anything, then she would have stopped with the weird jealousy, pick-me behavior like 5 girlfriends ago, but she keeps doing it. Scott Melville, thank you. I would let my spouse share a bed. A, I trust her, and B, if 10 years have taught me anything, it's that if she's already in bed, she's too tired anyway. That's funny. That's hilarious. I'm sure TJ could almost make that joke, but would not agree on. You know what? Let's use a TJ card. Let's find out. Hey, babe! Can I use a TJ card? TJ card. A farmer lost his index finger in a combine. When asked, he shrugged and said, "I'm disappointed." His wife added, "You couldn't find the point anywhere."
What?
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
In our marriage, am I allowed to, if it's like a situation of like, I'm at someone's house, it's like a sleepover or something.
Okay.
Am I allowed to share a bed with a man?
I mean, I guess I'd kind of be like, why? I'd be like, there's no women to share a bed with? And I'd be like, what man? That would also affect things, but also like, I'd really prefer if he could sleep on the floor. Like I just sort of expressed that. I haven't had like, I was with you and this happened stories of people sharing beds, but I've had we weren't together at the time and I happened to be sharing a bed with this person experience confessions to me. So I'm like, okay, this is just, I personally have seen how this can go.
No,
So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so it's like,
okay. What if like I just told you like, oh, at the sleepover last night, me and I don't know, random guy friend of the group. You don't really know him that well, but he's just a guy friend.
Oh.
Like there was a pull-out couch.
I'd be like, I mean, I really would have preferred to know. I would have expressed.
So
my
you would also
discomfort
be
with
like,
it.
in the future, can you not share a bed with men?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right. So like, we're first discussing, is that a normal boundary? So far, there's only been a couple people in my chat who are like one guy was like, I would let my wife share a bed with another man, but it's only because after 10 years, I know that by the time my wife is in bed, she's not doing anything but sleeping.
Right, dude. Like, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay, but now.
Oh boy.
Let's take it to the next level. Imagine this happens. I'm like, hey, I shared a bed, and you're like, Ken, you not. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I even did that. Will not do that again. Mm-hmm. Okay? So me and my friends, we have another sleepover, and once again, they're getting the pull-out out, and I go, oh, hey, actually, it's part of our relationship dynamic that we're just not comfortable anymore with sharing a bed with other men. I'm gonna go like make myself a little like cot.
Right.
And he argues.
The guy? Oh, well, no, I don't want you hanging out with him ever again. In fact, that's when I'm gonna be like, do we have to talk about something?
Oh, dude. And then
because you know how I get. You'll know how I get if someone comes at you. It's like, do you and I? Because you seem to think that you and my wife have a conversation, but I promise you, it turns out you and I have a conversation.
Now imagine, you get a text the next day from this guy, and he goes, "Hey, brother. I just want to let you know, like, I've never tried to hook up with Warren. Like, we don't have a history, so, like, there's really nothing to worry about if we share a bed."
Now I'd be like, if he'd reach me, I'd be like, hey, brother, and I'd put that in quotation marks. Actually, the fact that you felt like you needed to reach out and clarify to me makes me think that that's your only intention with my wife. So I'm letting you know, and I'm going to double down with her to let them know that I'm not all right with any of this. And in fact, I might be accompanying her to these sleepovers now if your ass is going to be there. How's that? I hope you like me because you and I are going to be best friends.
Dude, so now...
There's more?
Now you tell him, like, hey, bud, don't have to worry about it. If she was upset with that, she would tell me. And he goes, okay, it's just, I think it's just a little insecure of you. I know Lauren, and I know she has back problems, and I know that it probably really upsets her to have to sleep on the floor when she could just be in a comfortable bed. So
I'd be like, you're kind of a bitch for making my wife sleep on the floor. It sounds like you've got a problem, my guy. Like, this is my thing. The minute, honey. Like, no matter what you say, no matter what. Well, then he comes and says this. He's just digging his hole deeper. If you're not like, we're not going to meet up and talk about this, or be like, you know what, dude?
Now.
You're right. You're right, dude. Like I stepped out of line, but it's like
That's what this poor girl had to deal with. I literally, as soon as I started reading this pick me story of this girl and all this, like, I just feel like you're so possessive. Like, she literally does all this to this girl. I was like, is this girl a coke-addled extra in LA by any chance? Because this is very our pick me girl story behavior.
Jesus.
It's like
I'm trying to pour some resin.
Oh my god. So then the boyfriend, he's like being a king. He's handling this like very well. Like as soon as she showed him these text messages that she got from the girl from the friend group, he was mortified. And he calls her up, and I told all of them, I'm like, TJ has done this for me before. Like this is the kind of thing TJ would do, is like, I'm handling this right now. You don't worry about handling it. I will handle it. And then he does. And so the boyfriend calls her, and he like actually gets a little aggressive, and he's like, dude, this is why no one's girlfriends likes you in our group, because like this is so out of line. She's arguing. The girlfriend's like, I don't know exactly what they were saying, but he ends the call by saying, you need to be apologizing to my girlfriend. She never does. Everyone lets it go. She's just still in the friend group.
Then I'm not part of the friend group.
That's what I said!
Like,
That's what I said!
you guys drew your fucking battle lines, and you chose which side you wanted to be on.
Now,
Why do I have to put up with everyone else's bullshit?
So here's what I was straight up with chat here. I was like, if this is me getting this text message, I don't care if this seems extreme. I'm telling my man, it's her or me.
Yeah.
It's her or
Period,
me.
dude.
Straight up, point blank, period. Would you draw that line in the sand? This is early us. Look, we're in this hypothetical scenario. We've been dating for, I don't know, some odd months or something.
Yeah, I'd be like, you can be with him or me. I'll hit the road. If you choose him, I'm not going to be around anymore because I'm not going to put up with this disrespect.
Dude.
Period. That's what I would say.
And here's the thing, too, because I was saying, like, this is a terrible friend group that they've let this woman terrorize so many girlfriends, and no one has said anything, and no one is, like, holding her ass accountable. They're like, you need to apologize, but then no one ever like does any follow through to make sure she actually apologizes. There's no, well, you haven't apologized, so you're not invited. Like, right. No one's doing that. And so I'm curious, has your friend group ever had to kick someone out?
No. Not the guys? No.
What about, I think probably the closest example was your theater troupe when you had that one unreliable girl who was constantly throwing temper tantrums.
Oh my god, even then they left the group after I was like, you're too much. This is my theater troupe that I started. I know we all founded it, but this is my baby and I'm not dealing with this. They were like, howdies. And then like years later, they like sheepishly came back and followed me on Instagram. I'm like, you're fucking right, you did.
Who is this?
I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. I have not seen them active in fucking years. It's CG Hatch. They just upload all their like paintings.
Oh, I have no idea who
No, dude, this is
it's like, is this a person I know?
No, I don't think they recently were like, hey, not like never even reached out personally, but I can tell it's like, okay, I like your artwork because that might have been a little bit on me. It's like, yeah,
maybe we might have had some ego death.
I think we had a little ego death. Yeah, dude, this is a person who
the drama brat.
Opening night of the show that I've paid for the show rental, the costumes, the advanced publicity, all of the newspaper ads that I put out for the show. I directed the motherfucker. I'm paying the actors. I'm literally walking up to the theater with dinner that I got for everybody because we're doing a run through before opening night. As I'm approaching the theater, I see this person face beet red from crying, walking out of the theater, going to their car. I get up and I look at the one tech person we have and I'm like, hey, so I just saw, we'll just use the word Grace, walk into their car, is everything okay? And they just look at me with one of the most serious looks I've ever seen this person on their face, and they went, I might be playing Vittoria tonight. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, like they came back eventually, but it was like, it was a thing that
if you leave on opening night, I will make sure no theater troupe ever hires you in the whole Tri-County area. If you leave on opening night, you are dead.
But it was one of those things like we couldn't replace them. But that was the last show I did with them. That was the last show I did with them, dude. I'm like, that's too unreliable. That was almost, we had to rewrite. To be fair, it was a scenario, so we could have rewritten it, but it's like, you're integral, dude. You and like them and Kernsey had 2 entire scenes together.
Dylan says, imagine letting down TJ. I could never. Also, Dr. Gamer left a cheer, which I did read.
Oh.
He said that it would be a red flag to him if a girl instantly came up to him and was like, it's me or her. But obviously in the situation, it wouldn't be like that confusing. Once he saw the texts, I think that he could understand why it would be a it's me or her situation. And like, I can understand why she's resistant, because at the end of the day, me and TJ know what it's like for him to have a several like decades long friendship, and then that friend goes off the deep end and starts acting incredibly inappropriately to absolutely everybody involved, to the point that I myself had to blast this man and absolutely eviscerate him, put him right the fuck, them right in their place. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I will still respect their gender identity, despite the fact that they may be a little bit of a person who doesn't respect women's boundaries with their bodies when they say no and are teenagers. But anyway.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And that was hard for TJ to let go of that friendship. And I didn't push him. I wasn't like, hey, I'm choosing to go scorched earth with this individual. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but take your time. Like, this was a person who literally saved my husband's life. So it's nuanced, you know? It's hard, but it's like at the same time, like, TJ knows that person is not ever allowed around me or my children. It's just letting go of that final contact point can be a little bit rough sometimes. But at the end of the day, you know, you can do a million amazing things for someone. And if you let your true colors show, and your true colors are like kind of a fucking monster, you gotta go. Yeah, sorry. TJ just had a friend who kind of, ended up not being a great person, basically. I was just saying you had a friend who ended up not being a great person at the end of the day. But let's move on to something else. I think, actually, I don't know if we have much time for anything else. I almost have to go pick up my kids from school. First time catching a Dadvocate stream, and T-Chat is here. I know, and then we lost him. I will also say this, SVR, because SVR says, I experienced that some people are bi, but they pretty much just go for one sex most of the time. Especially with women, I'll say this, I think it's socially very cool for women to identify as bisexual, so I think people end up meeting a lot more bisexual women who are really just straight with sprinkles, you know? And like, I will say this, if a man tells you he's bisexual, he's not lying. Not a whole lot of guys out here being performatively bisexual, but like, you know, there's not like a huge group of women cheering at the bar when two guys make out, typically. But if a girl even pretends to be gay, she generally gets some pick-me points, you know? Usually she gets some kind of like gross male attention. So I think we see it performed a bit more. But also I will say, for genuinely bisexual people, a lot of them do like kind of lean one way or another. It's called the Kinsey scale. It's not like a just one or two type option. No, I don't have that time for anything else, but make sure to read your email. I will. I have a femme friend who's bi, but she only dates women and swoons over women, and her preference in men is very, very narrow. Yeah, on the Kinsey scale, very few people are like right in the middle, you know? Like, I've mentioned several times that like my gay jumps out a little bit, but on the Kinsey scale, I'm pretty straight. I'm pretty straight. Fun fact, I have dated women. I don't know if that scares any of you guys away. Hasn't scared away my husband, so that's all I really care about. You know, at this point, I'm just TJ sexual, so that's all that really matters. The real spider died. Thank you for the ad blocks tax, but yeah. Real spider died, RIP. All I have are my stuffies and this beanie baby now. What? And my resin spiders, the ones that I put into little balls. I have a lot of fake spiders, but my real one died. Oops. They only live like 2 years anyway. Oh yeah, we'll do cat tax too. You guys were very sad that I didn't have mochi. God, what was I talking about before that? I got so confused. Oh yeah, we were talking about dating women. I will say this though, too. I'm glad that I have experienced dating women because I can safely tell you that, like, all this bullshit about, like, dating a woman, we women are such better partners than men are, like, I can put that to bed because every woman I dated cheated on me, first of all, and 2 of the women that I dated were absolute fucking slobs. I will never forget this one time I was dating a girl, and like it didn't really last much longer than this, but I was seeing this girl and she comes to pick me up. She's like, let me pick you up. She always wanted to drive. She comes to pick me up and I get in the passenger seat and there's a Caesar salad on the floor of her car. I don't really think anything of it. I'm like, okay, there's a Caesar salad here where my feet are supposed to be, but like, whatever. Now, we were like just starting to talk, so we were still in that like kind of dating phase of like we're hanging out every day, right? And the next day she wants to pick me up again. So I get in the passenger seat. The Caesar salad is still there. I'm like, okay, whatever. We left the Caesar salad in the car, but you know, it happens. We don't hang out for a couple days. So she picks me up 2 days later. So it's now the end of the week. She wants to hang out again. She wants to come pick me up. Guys, why was the Caesar salad still fucking there? I have a core memory of disgust and sadness sitting there in the car watching the Caesar just slosh back and forth. The same one, guys. And I wish I could say that I quit dating her after that, but no, I dated her for long enough for her to also cheat on me, don't worry. Maybe she just likes eating her Caesar salads off the floor. Were there utensils in there too? I don't remember about the utensils. I really don't. A week is crazy. Yeah. So, again, I know that everybody's like, men are gross. I'm just gonna switch to women. It's not that easy. You're still gonna get cheated on. You're still gonna have to deal with like gross patterns of behavior. It's not like women are just like morally more sound than men. And in fact, like if you want to argue, well, at least they're less violent, I don't know if the lesbians are. The data on that is a little sketchy. I don't know about that. There's the domestic violence rate between lesbians is not good. Okay? No, I do agree men are more violent than women. They just are. I will debate with anybody who tries to argue that women are just as violent as men. But as far as like more dateable, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. My favorite was I was having dating troubles years ago in a very liberal city. My female friend was like, "Have you tried being gay?" I said it doesn't work like that. Like that's a funny joke to make. I feel like I've probably made that joke to guys before. Like, I mean, just try being gay. Like I think we've all made that joke. Like I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure. To be honest, if guys could simply just be gay, I think ton of them would. I think guys would have such a grand old time being homos, honestly. I think guys would really get along with each other. I will tell you this, every gay couple that I know right now, to be fair, I'm friends with all of the elder gays who got all their party days out of their system already, but like all my elder gay friends are happy as they're respectful, they don't fight, that all of their finances are really well taken care of. Like, they're able to go on vacations. Like, the elder gays truly have it figured out. Levi's like, nope, I choose straight. Even if I was gay, I would convert back. Before we go, TJ made a joke about Jesus living with his mom into his 30s. I'm 28 and still live at home. Is that bad? I want to move out. It sucks because, unfortunately, for a lot of people, it is bad. I'm going to be completely real with you. I mean, I was like long into dating my husband by my mid-20s, but if I'm in my mid-20s, I would prefer a man who's not living at home. I would. And I might be a little bit biased. And I can also say, as I've admitted to you, that I've dated women in the past. I would also not be interested in dating a woman who is living at home. So I can at least say that fairly. Just because I'm not interested in anybody's parents. I moved out at 18, was never reliant on my parents ever again after that. And so just me personally having that independence, I could never go backward, right? And at that point, I feel like I would be. Now, it would be hypocritical of me if I lived with my parents for an extended period of time and then wanted to judge someone who didn't. It depends on the situation they're coming from. Like, there's also a ton of people who are very, very close with their parents, and even though they could move out, they don't want to. You know, how am I going to judge someone for that? Like, it would depend on the circumstances. Like, 29 living on his own. Just how long? I was just about to get into this, Girthy. So it also depends on like what the situation is. If I get to know you and you're like, I'm still living with my parents, but it's not because I have to. It's because I'm saving so much money right now. And like, if we do get serious, we'll move out. But I'm saving so much money right now. Like, it might make sense, especially if their parents are like cool and I get along with them. It would depend. But like I said, I'm the kind of person who I moved out as soon as I could. I looked into moving out when I was 16, but my mom fought me on it. She wouldn't let me emancipate myself. But I never wanted to live with my parents. I don't want to live with anybody's parents, ever. Like, I remember like back in the day, my mother-in-law got offended because I was like, I don't want you just showing up whenever. And she took it personally. And I was like, it's not you. It's every parent. I don't want my own mom here. I don't want my own dad here. It's no offense. I just don't want parents around. I'm a grown-ass woman. That's all. And I'm not saying I don't want my in-laws around, by the way. I just tell me. And then wait for me to respond. Not, I'll be there in 5. Can I come over in 5? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's just me personally, but I will say it does bother me that there's a little bit of hypocrisy when it comes to men and women, because societally no one judges women for continuing to live with their parents into their 30s. Everyone looks at it like, yeah, your parents are protecting you and you're able to save money. No one looks at it like that with men. It's honestly, I'm curious to know like what the average woman would say is the age they think men should move out by. You know, I would be curious about that. I think the important thing is that you're able to demonstrate to women self-sufficiency. The reason that you're living with your parents should not be because you're dependent on your parents. I think that's the part that kind of turns people off at that point. Is like, no one wants to date someone who's going to just move their dependence away from their parents onto them. I don't even think men want that, but I think men are more willing to deal with it. For me, give me your honest judgment here. I had a homeless stint when I ran away. I remember you telling me about your homeless stint. I had to move back in because I would have died on the streets. I also had a guardianship beforehand. Yeah, that's another tough one because, like I said, I wouldn't judge a guy who had a homeless stint once we were past it. But most girls are not lining up to help a man get out of his homeless stint. And I don't think it's fair to judge women if that's the case either. You know, like, I don't think there's a ton of guys necessarily trying to date homeless or disenfranchised women necessarily either. But it's just not people's job to save you. Once you're committed, once you guys are like committed to each other and you've demonstrated that modicum of like, okay, we're a partnership now, then yes, it is kind of more of their job to help you through hard times. If me and TJ, for example, after 10 years together, got to a point where we lose everything, we're suddenly facing homelessness, I'm not breaking up with my husband. You know what I mean? We're getting through it together. But if someone meets you and you like just moved back in with your parents after being homeless, like you can't really blame them for saying you got to work on yourself for a little bit before you're ready to date. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But once you're like on the road, you have direction, you have a plan, then I think that most rational women would see through your hard times in your past. I mean, for Christ's sake, look how many like criminals are wifing up broads on the daily, having kids, settling down. Like, just put a bad boy spin on it. I mean, wasn't it like, there's so many celebrities too who like really came from a bad way and turned it around. Rational women. We out here. The problem is there's so many rational women. They're just not as loud as the irrational ones. You know? Hey, did you guys like the stream yet? The button is right there. You have to push it. You have to push the like button before we wrap this up. I kind of wanted to spend tomorrow filming a YouTube video, but I kind of want to just go live again instead. I don't know what to do. Drop a video or not. Also, I finally did the thing where I remembered to drop a video before going live to see if it would have any bearing on the viewership. And you know what? Let's see. According to YouTube, how is my video performance? Oh, it's not giving me the usual better than usual, worse than usual, so I don't know. I guess it seems pretty like decent views. This is as far as helping live, I don't know, also kind of the same, but I'll keep doing it. Let's go live again tomorrow. Yeah, okay, we'll go live. I know I've been like keeping you guys so hungry as far as like no shorts lately. I've been like barely making shorts, which is how I got into this game. I wouldn't even like have a viable YouTube channel if it weren't for my success with shorts, but long form is always where I wanted to end up. I always wanted to end up doing long form stuff. So, okay, god damn it, we're doing it. I'll make the thumbnail. We're going to be right back here, same time tomorrow, 11 a.m. We're going to be talking about stuff like the 4B movement, how Pearl and the N-word girl teamed up. I'm going to watch the thing that Girthy sent me, okay? Don't go live, it interferes with Caleb Hammer videos. Does he go live on Fridays at 11 a.m. EST? Not me and Caleb Hammer's audience crossover. I should collab with Caleb Hammer. I don't know how we would do it. I want him to like have me on so we can just dual judge people's finances. If you guys ever want to have me do a financial audit stream, I'll bring someone on. I could financially audit someone. I was raised by a mathematician. I love financially auditing. In fact, Saturday is our financial audit day. Tomorrow, same dad time, same dad channel, different dad jokes. All right, it is time for me to go get my damn kids. This has been such a fun, hilarious stream. I will definitely let you guys know if there's any more updates with our weird pick-me stalker situation. There's still time to submit submissions to lauren@dadvocate.net. Like it, subscribe to it, go watch the video I just put out that you haven't been able to watch this whole time you've been watching me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.